Yo, people, welcome back to another stream of Two Up Front. I'm your host Ace, and I'm with my brother Major. How you doing, my guy, man? How you feeling today?
Bro, I'm just so happy that this international break is over, man. Like
Uh,
this one felt especially long. So
mm,
from that regards, extremely happy. But yeah, you know how it goes, bro. Blessed and highly favored, man.
nah, I
Blessed
love
and
to
highly
hear it,
favored.
man. Yeah, no, I've been seeing United fan base, man. We'll get into it when we're speaking about the Ipswich game, but I've never seen United fans so giddy. I've never seen you
Oh
lot
man.
want to watch football so
Hope
badly. But
hope is
hey,
crazy, bro.
bro, it's a
Hope,
real game changer, man. I
what
said
hope
these are
can
the same guys that used to love hate watching, and
bro.
now they're just
Hey
smiling,
man.
air to
I
air,
hope, bro.
optimistic, looking forward to
Mm.
the future. I said, nah, man, this is not what I like to see. But nah, I hear it, man. Aside from like, I guess even the United fans, even for everyone, man, this international break, it's felt especially long.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a combination of like a lot of the best players too also pulled out. It
Mm,
felt like I don't know if you felt that way too. And for the
mm,
first time too, maybe I'm always very biased. I don't really care about international football unless maybe Arsenal players are involved. But because a lot
mm,
of like the main kind of nations, a lot of our players just didn't go, or I didn't really care
mhm,
about their fixtures. I didn't watch a single minute of international football this international
mm,
break. I don't know
mm.
whether you caught any of the games and kind of how you found it.
I caught a little bit, but
Mm,
yeah, man, like, yeah, I just needed the Prem back, man. Not even
mm,
just the Prem, everything, bro. La Liga, Serie A, everything.
mm.
The Championship, bro, everything. It's like, bro, yeah, man. So just happy is over.
Nah, I do hear that. And yeah, nah, I guess that's the one good thing about international breaks. Like, it makes you then appreciate football a bit more, even when it
Mhm,
is here. Because I was like, bro, it feels like such a long time since I've watched my team play. I don't know if you've
mhm.
seen that meme. I don't know if United fans have it too. I know Arsenal fans definitely do, where it's like it'll be like a big, it's like waiting to watch your team play, and then they play, they're like, oh, okay, this is what I was
Yeah,
this is what I was looking forward to.
bro, it gets
So
like that.
no, it really does, man. So
Mhm,
yeah, no, definitely looking forward to the weekend. Happy that football is back. And yeah, no, there's a couple of things that happened, I think especially towards the end of the international break that I want to touch on a little bit before we
mhm,
get into the regular program where we kind of discuss the fixtures this weekend. The first one that I know has been making a rounds, bro, that I want to get your take on, especially is I see, a certain bold man that's been terrorizing the Premier League for almost a decade now has decided that he's going to be here for
Oh,
another couple of years. So I don't know if
mm,
you have any kind of strong opinions, like him being your neighbors, and yeah, what your kind of thoughts were on that news breaking. I think a couple of days ago now. Like, and
bro.
also just everyone who doesn't know who the bold man I'm talking about. I'm talking about Pep Guardiola. So yeah, what's your take on that?
Bro, I need this guy to go, man. Like, just get out of here, man. Like, yeah, bro. Like, it's funny again because I remember how rival fans were celebrating when Fergie retired. And
Mm,
yeah, and like, I think I'm at the stage where I'm waiting for this guy to get out of here, man. Like, yeah, just get
mm,
out of here, just go. But from a City perspective, I think that's really good. I think Pep, firstly, I think like he wanted to get to 10 years because he's been at City for a long time. Like
yeah.
he's actually done a long stretch there. Like in comparison,
How long
especially
was
to
he
like
at Barca for?
I think Barca was 4 years and I think Bayern was 3 years. And so this is by far his longest stretch at one club, like by far. So he's been there for a very long time. And yeah, I think that I think this will help City this season because I think it's the type of thing like that they would have needed, like a boost. So I think it takes away the uncertainty. Obviously, they've got everything going on with like the charges and stuff, and I think this news will just be uplifting for them. So I think that will just, from a morale perspective, help City. I personally think Pep. I think because I think he signed a 1 year deal with an option to extend, if I'm correct. I think that's currently what he signed. And I think if you can just
Go on,
double
sorry,
check
yeah.
it, but I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it
I'll
is.
double check
I
it
think
now.
it's a 1 year deal with a further option to extend by a year. And I personally think Pep will probably try to go out on a high. So I think I was chatting to
Yeah,
one of my friends
I,
about this.
I think it's a 2 year extension that he signed. I think
Oh, is it
initially, I
straight
think
a
there's a
two
lot of
year?
rumors about that 1+1. I think it's a straight 2 years from what I'm seeing right
Is it?
now. Just from what I'm seeing, even that TNT Sport has signed a 2 year extension with an option for a further 12 months.
Oh, so it's a
So
two
yeah,
year
it's
plus
a
a
2 year with an
plus one.
extension with an
Okay,
option. Yeah.
2 year plus one.
But I know I
So
did hear that 1+1. I think that's what was going around the last couple of
okay,
days when it
yeah.
wasn't confirmed. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, first then yeah, that's even better for them, isn't it? But yeah, I think from a City perspective, yeah, that's great for them. Like I think again, the stability it will just help calm nerves. It will take away uncertainty. I think from a player perspective as well, he's obviously a coach that a lot of players would want to play for. And yeah, like it's great news for them, not great news for everyone else, pretty much. And so yeah, man.
No, I definitely heard that. And I echo what you're saying. I think the biggest impact I think it will probably have initially anyway is like you said, it's definitely the short term. Because when you're
Mm,
not sure too, if Pep is he gonna go this year, is he gonna stay? If you're a
mm,
footballer now, you know he's here for another 2 years with a possible third. This is where you then button up your shirt. You say, boy, if I want to make it at this club, I need to get serious. Because yeah, as
mhm,
human nature, man, if you think someone might be on the way out, like I'm sure even let's say for example, like United players, if you know this Ten Hag guy, bro, you got days ahead of you. You're not gonna have the
mm,
same energy when you know that you're with a manager that could be here for the next 3, 4, 5 years if you're
mm,
serious about staying at that club. So yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a real kick in the backside for City players now. Because yeah, obviously they haven't been in really good form recently, so this could be what they need to really push on and kick on from here. So no, it's massive news for them and very sad news for everyone else, man. Because I don't know from your point of view too. Do you kind of because I also was hearing, I'm seeing like the clubs like United now who are coming with like a new project, and now maybe you're also still not there yet. You probably need like a year or two to really also kick on. Do you think?
mhm.
Because I basically what I'm saying that is there was a lot of conversation of like, oh, cool. You want to be ready basically when Pep does go. Do you think the 2 years kind of gives you a bit more time, or would you have been happy for him to just like, yeah, go now, like
No, man.
go
Like
now?
I think there's like two separate things. So I think firstly, just speaking about United, United have to take care of United business. Like regardless of what's going on, like that's whatever. But really and truly, if we're just being honest, like over these last seasons, bro, Pep's not been taking the title off of us. Like, do you get me?
It's
Like,
true.
so we've got our own problems. Do you get me?
Mm.
Like, we've got our own problems. We need to sort our stuff out. Like, do you get it? So I think that's one thing which is separate. And yeah, like we've got to make sure that we're in a position. Secondly, regarding the like, oh, would I rather him gone sooner or like does it give us more time? Like, yeah, nah, he can go. Like, yeah, yeah, man, he can go. But it's like I think from a United see, as a United fan, I told you the climate is crazy for us right now because we've got City there, and then when we're looking at their nearest challengers over the last seasons, it's been Arsenal and Liverpool. So, like, I think if you ask like a Chelsea fan or if
Mm.
you ask a Tottenham fan, then it's different because it's like if you ask a Chelsea or Tottenham fan, and again, I can't speak for them, but City winning, they're just like, you guys, whilst I think, let me even try and like, just from a Chelsea fan perspective, because again, not on a diss to Spurs thing, but they haven't challenged for a title. Like, do you get me? Or won a title, like in, yeah. Yeah. So, but from like a Chelsea fan perspective, who like, they won the title in 2017, and like a lot of Chelsea fans in and around my age, they've seen their club win titles, not just obviously recent, but under Mourinho as well. And so I think they'll probably be looking at it and saying, you know what, we don't want Arsenal winning. Do you get me? Like Chelsea and Liverpool, like they had like a rivalry, during like the Mourinho Benitez days. How intense it is now, I think I'll leave that for Chelsea and Liverpool fans to discuss. But I think City winning the leagues, like they're just like, okay, like, do you get me? Like you can carry on doing that whilst we're getting ready. Like, do you get me? But it's not really damaging them. Like, do you get me? Whereas as a United fan, like it's just damage all round. Like, do you get me? Because whilst Pep's been here, we've seen a treble being matched. We've seen him beat our 3 in a row, get 4 in a row. Now he's looking at 5 in a row. Like, do you get me? We've seen like them rack up the titles. So like, yeah, it's us. It's not affecting us as regards to him taking anything off of us because we've not challenged seriously, but it's affecting us legacy wise, obviously, because they're building. Like these things add up bit by bit. Do you get it? So I think a lot of Chelsea fans, they're looking at it and they're like, they might look at it and think, yeah, man, Pep, you stay here for a couple years and then hopefully in 2 years we'll be ready to now take over. Whereas I think with United fans, it's like, yeah, man, bro, there's too many ops. Like I've said it, bro. Like, do you get me? So it's like, yeah, like Pep staying for 2 years. Also, what if City win 2 more leagues? Like, what if it's 5 in a row and 6 in a row? Then, bro, do you get me? And then all of a sudden, like things are it's looking crazy. Do you get it? Then obviously also Liverpool, bro. We've got problems over there. Do you get me? Like 20 league titles, they're doing their thing. And then Arsenal, bro, we don't like you lot either. So yeah, man. So I think, long story short, going back to what I said previously, United currently need to just focus on United business. Like that's what we need to do. Like, do you get me? Because yeah, currently we've just been a mess. So let's just sort ourselves out. So
no, I
what's
think
your
that's
perspective on it? Because obviously you're someone that's directly been like for the last 2 seasons, City, like City has taken titles off of you. So like, how does it? Do you get me? The last time City really took, I'm not counting when we finished second and they got like what the 100 points. I think it was 2018 when they got 100 points and we finished second. I'm not counting that. I'm not counting when we finished. I'm not counting when we finished second under Oli Ivar. Like. But yeah, like the
that was
last
Mourinho's
time,
best ever season as a manager of the every one. So yeah,
the last time City directly took a title off of us was Aguero. Yeah, do you get me? That's 2012. That's the last time where it's like City directly. Do you get me? And then obviously the next season we grabbed it straight back. But since then, in a lot of these titles, it's been you guys, it's been Liverpool. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, we've not been involved. So what's your view?
Nah, again, I think I'm in a position where ultimately it's not good because I think with City I'll be a lot more confident that let's see what the future holds with this generational great manager not there. I'm a lot more confident that they're not going to be the same City. Overall, it makes the Premier League more balanced. There's a lot more teams now that can potentially win the league now without that additional factor that Pep brings, just being the great that he is. But I also sit on the side where I'm also a little bit more cautious as well, where I think it's very easy to just now be like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm terrified. Pep said for another 2 years. I think I also need to see City also like this summer now start moving in a way where now Pep is rebuilding this team. Doesn't sound like, like where I think they're like a really pivotal point right now as well, where it's like they need to now also show that they're going to make the right decisions. Pep's going to rebuild this team in the right way, where now they continue to now also push on and be a real problem, or they can continue what they've been doing for the last couple of years now. Which is why I was also a bit more confident he was probably going to leave. Which is where even the transfers, it just doesn't look like a team that's really ambitious to push on more, because it kind of felt like maybe they've kind of won everything they need to win now. Does that make sense? I think I'm also a bit more patient to see what does this now mean now when we now get to the transfer window. Now it's now worrying because him staying for another 2 years, well, maybe potential +1, that suggests that they're gonna go crazy. There's also the argument too that I was gonna really ask you, but I guess I'll kind of also touch a little bit too, that what does this also mean for maybe their confidence in their case? Because there also is that element of, does Pep commit himself the next 2+1 if maybe it's looking spooky, or does he do it anyway because he doesn't want to leave them when it's now looking spooky? So I'm not really sure whether if you have any strong opinions on, does it give you any insight at all, or you think it's just not related at all in terms of, you think Pep will have any insight into the direction that's going in before making this decision?
I think he would have had I think because I think he even mentioned it, like they reassured him like that they believe they're innocent, and yeah, like they're confident of beating it. And to be honest as well, I think they will. Like, and when I say they will, I think basically like they'll be able to, they won't have any serious consequences. So there's all of this talk of like, oh, like a crazy points deduction or like a relegation or all of these different things. I personally, again, it remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens. Do you get me? I could be proven wrong, but yeah, me personally, I don't think that like anything like that will happen. Like, so
Okay. Do you
yeah.
think that him staying on has any kind of indication, or you think it could just be completely separate in terms of what he currently knows now is just like you said, he's just confident that they've said they're
Yeah,
innocent?
like I think he's been confident. Like, yeah, personally, I think he's been confident. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but ultimately, I guess to kind of wrap up my kind of answer, that it's definitely worrying. I would rather he left than not leave. But I also want to see what this now means for how City move going forward. Like in terms of how their form, does it now pick up now with this news, or they continue to be inconsistent? Because then that's when it
Mm,
then becomes when do they bounce back? Because you're also a name until like things start going wrong. Like we saw like Mourinho, where like you'd think anywhere he goes to, there's nowhere that it wouldn't work out. And then you start to see
mm,
where him go to clubs and it no longer be the Mourinho that we saw when we initially saw him come up. Does that make sense? So
mm,
again, I'm not saying that is with Pep. I'm saying I need to see that first before I just jump on the bandwagon of I'm now just terrified again because he's now staying longer because of
mhm,
what I've seen from City this season. I need to see
mhm,
more from how they move behind the scenes and on the
mhm.
pitch before I then make a decision on how worrying this is. If that makes any sense.
Also, is there
Yeah.
anything to be said for like the fact that there might be a bit of an incentive to say that you've been able to take a title off Pep? Like, does that add
Yeah,
any,
I think
like, do
I
you think
think
anyone
that's I
cares
think
about that?
yeah, I
Like,
think that's one for the rivals, man, being honest. Me personally, I don't care. Whether Pep is not
okay.
Pep, if Arsenal win the league, I don't care. I know the rivals are trying to run you didn't beat Pep, I don't care. That's
No,
fine.
I'm
We
not.
haven't seen a
I'm
live
not
title.
talking.
Yeah.
I'm not talking it
Oh,
from
go
a
on.
right. I'm saying like
Mm,
I'm not talking about rivals. Like I'm talking
mm.
about you. Like so I know for
Okay.
example when Liverpool they won their league title. Like a big part of
Mm,
it is like they say we won one league title, but we were facing Pep Guardiola. We were facing one of the best teams of all time, and look at what we done. Like a lot of the time when people
okay.
talk about when Wenger won
Mm,
titles, they say we were up against prime Sir Alex Ferguson and prime Man United. Like, like people just talk about
mm,
that. I'm not talking about rivals taking a mick. I'm talking about just
okay.
for yourself. Like, do you get me?
Okay.
Like, Arsenal
Okay.
could say we went
Mm,
invincible during
mm,
the same era as prime Manchester United. Like
yeah.
Mourinho, Chelsea fans, they will say we came into the Premier League when Sir Alex and Wenger was there and we won back-to-back
Mm,
titles. So it's more from that
mm.
angle. Like, is there anything that, or do you just not care?
Yeah, I think ultimately I don't care because I think the bar will
Okay.
always shift. I think if City aren't great and
Mhm.
Arsenal win, I also can't say we beat Pride or we beat a Pep because they'll say yeah it was Pep when he wasn't Pep anymore. And it's like I feel like because I kind
Okay.
of know that inherently is why ultimately I don't care. I think
Okay.
if City are City and we beat them, then it adds extra to it. But I
Extra.
think if
Okay.
City
Yeah.
aren't City, then I don't care. I think that's really it.
Okay.
Kind of depends on where City are, depending on how much I really care about that narrative. If that makes
Okay.
sense. To answer your question. So, but yeah, man.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see what this now means. But yeah, in the short term, I definitely think it's very worrying, and we'll talk about it when we get to that Spurs game. What this means
Mm,
for them, because boy, you don't want to be playing them after the form they're in, and Pep committing his medium future to them now. So we'll
mm,
talk about it. Then the other kind of couple of quick kind of things that happened during the international break that I wanted to touch on. This was just a little topical one that I just enjoyed. I see my guy Ada Galer being linked to Arsenal. I said,
mm,
boy, I have a bit of that. I have a
mm,
bit of that, bro. You're even talking about it since the Euros. And that guy, oh my goodness, I'll take him. Please, Madrid,
mm.
continue to not play him. In January, let's talk.
But
We'll,
bro,
we'll give you guys a
how
call. Yeah.
how I what it is? I rate him
Mm,
like very highly, like proper
mm,
highly. But I've seen that, and to me, it doesn't
mm.
make sense.
Oh, really?
Like,
Why? Why do you
yeah,
think that?
because he's not playing at Real
Mm.
Madrid, and the big discussion is that this guy is too talented to be stuck on the bench. If he
Okay. Oh,
goes to
okay. I see.
Arsenal, yeah, if he
Okay.
goes to Arsenal, is he
That's a
going
good
to be
point.
starting week in, week out? Like, he's
No,
not
no,
going to
he
leave.
wouldn't be. He
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
like, so I don't
He
understand the
wouldn't
point
be.
of leaving, because the whole thing
Nah.
is that this guy is
Mm,
too good and he's not
mm,
playing. So why would he go
It's a
to
good point.
Arsenal if
It's
he's,
a,
yeah, that's the
I
thing that's
think
confusing me.
but I think the
Like,
difference is you can go from like playing 0 minutes to at least getting tangible
yeah, I
minutes at
know, but I
Arsenal.
think,
Like,
his level of talent is that
uh,
he needs to be playing. Like, do you get
no,
me?
no, I
Like,
hear
that's
it.
the
Again,
thing.
if he has
Like, he needs
good
to be playing.
representation, then maybe he doesn't come.
Yeah.
But I would say, me
So it's like,
personally, I'll take the
yeah, no,
talent.
of
That's what I'm
course,
saying. So
of
yeah,
course, as an Arsenal fan, from an Arsenal fan
yeah.
perspective, yeah, like, do you get me? Like, yeah, you'll take
But
it.
no, you make
But
a good
yeah,
point
just from
though.
him, yeah, like, that's why I was looking at
Mm,
it, because I was thinking, I was seeing that link, and I was just like, but if he's not going to play week in, week out, like, if you're planning to shift someone out, like, do you get me, or he's gonna occupy a starting spot, then
nah.
that's different. But if that's not gonna
Mm,
happen, then
mm.
you're gonna move from Real Madrid's bench
Well, to be
to
fair though, what I would say
Arsenal's
though
bench.
is I also don't think it's as strong as he moves from Real Madrid's bench to Arsenal's bench. I
Mm.
think he
No,
will
he'll get more
he like
minutes.
yeah,
He'll
he'll
play
get a
more.
lot, but I'm saying he'll get a lot more minutes. I think at Arsenal, because
Yeah,
even that
but
like
I think,
Marino left 8, like I think he has like Odegaard, Maneri, Gula, I can
see,
see.
that's too much, man.
No,
Like,
no,
that's too much.
I hear it.
Yeah, like,
This one is
it's too
crazy.
much. Yeah, like, it's too,
Again, that this is
like,
against champions, lower even
you
lower
know
than
what it
championship
is.
balance.
You know
So
what it
that
is. It's
midfield
like,
balance, but
if we're rating him as highly as, like, we're rating
mm,
him,
mm,
then yeah, bro. Like, I don't think he's getting enough football at Arsenal. Like, unless you're
okay.
trying to move people out. That's my opinion. Like, I
I
think
can see like
I rate him to the point where it's like, I need
mm,
to see this guy playing.
get like
Like, do
stuck.
you get me?
I hear that, and
Yeah,
I
like,
think you
playing.
make a very
Like,
good
and
point.
you don't need to burn
Mm,
him out completely. Do you get me? But this
mm,
guy needs to be like on the pitch. Like, do you get me? Like, he needs to be
mm,
playing. So I even think at Madrid, like, even at Madrid currently, they
mm.
like could be using him more.
Yeah,
But
they could be,
yeah,
but
like,
squad
I
balance is
think
out the window at Madrid right
so.
now. So
Yeah, like, I think that's just my thing. Like, just for him personally, like, I would
mm.
be looking at it and I'll be thinking, yeah,
Does it
like,
is it the best move for him?
yeah,
No, no,
like, is it
I
the
do
best
hear it.
move?
I do
Yeah.
hear it. I think for me, it's like I think because of that, he won't start in Odegaard's position. But I think the Marino left 8, he get a lot more minutes there, and the Odegaard 2 for resting, he get minutes there. So I think he
Yeah.
would get
You see,
enough minutes where I think he'd get game time at Arsenal.
what
But
what
go
I was
on.
also gonna say, no, he will get game time.
Mm,
And what I was also gonna
yeah.
say is that, you see, yeah,
Mm.
especially with this current version of Arteta.
Oh
Like, do you
yeah.
get
What
me?
about would
Yeah.
Arteta
With
play
this,
him?
yeah,
I don't know.
with this
That one
current
I can't
version of
speak on.
Arteta, yeah,
Yeah, I
with this
can't
current
speak on.
version of
I
Arteta
can't
again,
speak on.
like, with what's currently
Oh,
been going on, do you get me?
boy.
I'm not seeing it. Like, do you
Major,
get me? I'm not
major,
seeing
major.
what he's
Again,
playing.
man. This is not a reality. What Attention's gonna do. This is what me, Ace,
Bro.
the Arsenal fan, wants to see,
Yeah, no,
bro.
from the
Okay.
Arsenal fan perspective, of course. Like,
So
bring him back.
this is
Like, do you get
me.
me?
Like, nah, I'll
Yeah,
take
I
that
get
talent
it.
all day
Yeah,
long,
hundred
man.
percent, hundred
All
percent,
day
hundred
long.
percent.
So yeah,
Baller,
I was happy
certified
with the
baller,
link. I'm definitely not mad at that
certified
link at
baller.
all. So
Yeah,
let's see what
certified
happens,
baller.
man. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
might have to run that back. Say Madrid, you're not trying to do the Ozil experiment this time. We'll do the Ozil
Mm-hmm.
experiment, bro. We'll bring him up. I'm saying we'll raise him. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And like
Mm-hmm.
big well on to Teo. Thank you for coming through. And obviously Wendy, as always, appreciate you. But and then the last kind of topical thing I wanted to touch on before we get into football, obviously, unless you have anything more, is Reece James, bro. Reece James. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you saw the news. I think he's got another hamstring. I said,
Mm-hmm.
boy. I said, you know, when I'm always someone too, like, I don't like jumping on going too early when it comes to like talking points or opinions. But even me, I have to say, boy, man, the injuries now is getting to the point now where it's like as big as a talent you are, it almost becomes are you ever going to come back now? Like, because it's now too frequent. Even when they're trying to manage you, you're still getting injuries like this. I don't know if you had any kind of thoughts on that.
Yeah, like, Reece James, he's a certified baller. Like, do you get me? Extremely talented. And it's a shame to see what's been happening regarding injuries. And with this particular one, I just hope that it's nothing major. Like, I hope it is something that, like, he can recover from quickly, and then he can continue like the progression, because I think Maresca, he's already said, like, yeah, they're gonna manage his minutes, they're gonna manage his game time, they're gonna do load management. So yeah, I hope they can figure out a way of like being able to ensure that he has a long and sustainable career. Like, and yeah, like it might be a thing where it's like they do just have to adapt, like, and yeah, they might have to tailor specific training programs towards him, like, and yeah, like just try to do what they need to do to make sure that he's good. And obviously he will understand his body as well, so it's like, yeah, I just hope that he's able to recover because he's someone that's super talented. And yeah, like I remember Ledley King, like, do you get me, for Spurs, like serious, like, do you get me, serious centre back, but he just had so many injury problems. And I remember, I think it got to the point where in order for him to play, like he wouldn't train with the rest of the team. Like, yeah, like they managed him that way, I believe, like where he wasn't training with the rest of the team. And yeah, like they had to tailor things specifically towards him as regards to his training program and stuff. And yeah, like, so yeah, man, I'm just hopeful Reece James he's able to recover because yeah, he's someone that's like super, super talented. And yeah, I don't like to see players like suffer like this when it comes to injuries. No, it's not good. So yeah,
No,
I'm hoping. I personally hope that he's able to have a quick recovery.
no, I hope so too, man. I think my kind of concern for him is the fact that I think he's had so many niggles even after coming back now that it's even like even when they're resting you, not really playing you, you're still getting these kind of big injuries, like hamstring as well. So I don't know how quick you also come back from that. So yeah, no, I'm sure even Chelsea fans who have all the time for him eventually, man. Because I've been there too, bro. Sometimes too, man. The talent is one thing, but your body is another thing, man. I've seen like two clear players as an Arsenal fan growing up. One was Diaby, was a player that was so talented, his
Baller.
body
He was
just,
too cold.
bro, his
Yeah,
body just
too
couldn't
cold.
handle it. And the other one was Wilshere, man. Another player that I loved watching, but again, injuries after injuries. It starts to become a thing where I can't rely on you anymore because as good as you are, you can drop out at any moment for weeks and months at a time. So yeah, I wonder if I'm Chelsea fans, if any Chelsea fans do watch this later or something, let us know too what you're thinking about, I guess, Reece James and how much more patience do you have for him? Because I think as much as you can love a player, it can eventually get to a point where you're like, as much as I love you, this just looks like it's just not going to work. So I'm sure they're not there yet, but I'm sure they must be approaching that level now because it's so frequent now. But go on.
I think the thing is with Chelsea though is that I think the good thing is I think like I don't think they're relying on him. And I think that's the good thing. Like, do you get me? Like, obviously, whilst he was injured, obviously Gusto came in and was doing his thing. And I think it's one of them ones where how you've got to approach this is that you've got to like you've always got to be prepared for like him not playing. Like, yeah, like you can't rely on Reece James being fit. But so I think you've got to prepare for him not playing. But then I think you've also like, yeah, you've got to try and obviously do what you can to make sure like he can be as fit as possible. And then obviously when he can play, then you bring him in. Like, but obviously it can't be a thing where it's just like, oh, you know what? If Reece James isn't there, then who's gonna play? Like, do you get me? So it's just yeah. So I think it's one of them ones where it's just yeah, like hopefully, man. Hopefully he can recover because he's too talented. Like,
Yeah, no, it will be a real shame if he's not able to like get his career like in a consistent like place again when he's playing football. So yeah, no, I saw that earlier today and I said, boy, I'm sure the Chelsea fans are not going to be happy about that. But yeah, bro, I think those were the kind of quick topical conversations I think that's kind of happened recently for the international break that I wanted to touch on. Unless you have everything else, I think it's now
I
time.
do, bro.
Oh,
I've got
gone.
another one, bro.
Oh, gone.
Bro, I'm getting sick of this, bro.
Oh, what's
I'm
happening?
getting sick of this, bro.
What's happening? Oh, is this a bot thing?
Bro,
I don't
no,
even. Oh, okay,
bro.
I saw they were
The,
trolling
bro,
there too.
this. See, I can't even
Oh
speak.
wow, it's that
I'm disgusted.
serious. It's that serious,
I'm
boy. I'm locked
disgusted,
in now.
bro.
What is going on, man?
The disrespect regarding Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, is making me sick.
Oh, swear,
It's
I
making
think I
me
haven't
sick,
been tuned into this. What's going on?
bro. I'm seeing reckless conversations.
Really?
People talking about how, oh, you know, Ronaldo, and you know what? I think a lot of it has derived from Rodri, and Rodri had an interview. And because I haven't listen to the interview, and because I know sometimes things can be misquoted, I'm not going to attribute anything to him like until like I've officially listened to it and etc. So
Okay.
I'm just going to more so talk about the conversation that's been going on. But I think initially Rodri gave like an interview, and I think what people were saying is that he like was talking about Messi, who's the greatest ever, and they were talking about his talent, and they were saying like, oh, Ronaldo basically is more so a thing like, within the box, like problem. Do you get me? But like, I think people were saying that he said that Ronaldo was on, like, he doesn't have natural talent. Like, do you get me? And he was talking about how Messi does. And again, there might be misquotes. There might be like, so I don't want to attribute it to him. Like, do you get me? So until like I can verify that, I'm not gonna talk about that. But I can talk about the wider conversation.
Update next stream, man. Yeah, let us know what you said next stream.
I'll check. Rodri, I'm checking. I'm gonna get back to that, because if you said that, then hey, bro, do you get me? I was nice when we were talking about that Ballon d'Or, but I might have to agenda. Do you get me? I might have to agenda.
Hey, I hear it. Just jump in zone now.
I might have to Vinny. Vinny, I've got you, bro. I've got you, bro. Vinny, I've got you, bro. Let me just verify what you said. And then, bro, if he was talking crazy, then I've got you, bro. That Ballon d'Or was supposed to be yours. So we'll get back to it. But bro. Like, I just think generally, bro, it just revisionism in football, like, is crazy. And it's so crazy, especially when you've grown up.
Sorry, I just searched you quickly just to see what the first thing came up. I see. I always say that Cristiano has managed to match Messi in many things, perhaps without the innate talent that Leo has. But those of us who really played against them quickly realized the difference. Was the quote I've just seen. I don't know if that adds anything
from Rodri.
Yeah,
Rodri. Yeah, no, I'm gonna verify everything. Do you get me? Cool. Like, cool. I need to make sure. I don't want to just be. Do you get it? Like,
I hear
before. I told you it's pending. Pending. Like, we'll investigate, and then if it's guilty, then bro, Rodri. You get me? But bro, just very quickly, bro. Man, the disrespect regarding Cristiano Ronaldo and his ability. And this isn't the first time that I've heard conversations like this. Like, people sometimes talk about Ronaldo like, oh yeah, Messi's the talented one, Ronaldo's the hard work. What?
Just there through graft.
What?
Pure hard work.
Through grinding. What?
Yeah,
are you lot crazy? Are you lot insane? Bro, you can give Ronaldo's work ethic to the majority of football players that have ever played this game, bro, and they're not touching him, bro. Man want to talk about hard work like that's what made Ronaldo, bro. He has a God-given natural talent, bro, that most footballers are nowhere near. Like, what on earth are we talking about, bro? Fam, this conversation makes me sick because it's so disrespectful. Like, it's so disrespectful, bro. And especially as someone who lived this, bro, I watched Ronaldo come to Man United. I watched him destroy the Premier League, bro, rip it apart. That Ballon d'Or season, bro, it was a joke. And United fans, bro, we've got a song, Viva Ronaldo, Viva Ronaldo, running down the wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo. Bro, we don't say standing in the penalty box. Bro, we say running down the wing, because that's what he was doing, bro. He was ripping it up, bro. He was having fullbacks on skates. What on earth are we talking about? Everyone that's talking, bro, are you lot insane? Like, bro, this conversation jars me because, fam, I remember, bro, and I know you remember as well, bro. I remember, let's not even talk about influence. I remember rival fans. It doesn't matter what club you support. I remember people in the playground stepping back, doing the shoulders. Do you get me? Trying to replicate the free kicks, bro. I remember people doing the stepovers. Do you get me? Trying to twist the man up. Like, this thing where people now talk about Ronaldo like he's some tapping merchant. Oh my days, bro. Man say, oh, you know what? If I need a goal, I'll call for Ronaldo. Like, do you get me? Like, that's all he is. If I need a goal, I'll call for Ronaldo. But if I want talent, Do you get me? And Hazard, you're another one, bro. I rate you so highly. But again, you're another one investigating, because I remember those quotes that were coming out, and I think he was talking about natural talent, and he was saying, yeah, you know, Messi might be above me as a natural footballer, like, do you get me? Or Neymar, but yeah, like I think he said, yeah, like he might put himself above Ronaldo. Again, bro, what on earth are we talking about here? What on earth are we talking about, bro? Cristiano, bro, that, like, do you get me? And obviously I'm a United fan, but bro, not even just that, when Ronaldo, like, he came back from that 2006 World Cup, bro, this guy just turned into something else, fam. Like, do you get me? Like, he was ripping this Premier League apart. And then he went to Real Madrid, bro. And again, the narrative has now become that, oh, you know what? At Real Madrid, he was the guy that, you know, like, he just increased his goal tally, do you get me? And just became a specialist at scoring goals. And it was like, bro, no, that's not the case. You're lying again. You're lying. You can't lie against me. You can't lie to me because I watched it, bro. You can't lie to me because I watched it, bro. Bro, this guy again in La Liga, bro, he was ripping it apart. Do you get me? It was only later on where he adapted his game and he became more so a player that was focused on goals. And I think that was because of, one, like, he has self-awareness and he knew that obviously he was getting older. But secondly, I think in 2014, like, I think it was knee tendonitis he got diagnosed with. Like, so he had problems with his knees. And I think longevity wise, he just adapted his game to make sure that, one, he can stay fit, and two, he can get the most out of his natural, like, his physical circumstances. Do you get me? Because again, when we're talking about longevity, you wanted to make sure that he had like as long a peak as possible, or as long as a certain level as possible. So yeah, bro, like, this Cristiano Ronaldo disrespect, bro, like, it just jars me so much. Do you get me? Because it's like, bro, we know what Messi is, man. Like, do you get me? We know what Messi, bro. We don't need to talk about Messi. You know what I think about Messi. We know what you think about Messi, bro. Messi's Messi, bro. Like, fam, this isn't about Messi versus Ronaldo. Like, do you get me? Messi's Messi. No one can ever try and say Messi's not Messi, bro. Like, do you get me? Messi is Messi. But don't talk about Ronaldo like he was just some guy in the gym. Do you get me? Doing up bench press. Do you get me? Man, I'm talking about Ronaldo.
All he had is a leap.
Yeah, all he had was a leap. All he had was the celebrations. Do you get me? Man, I'm saying, man, I'm calling him a social media influencer. Man, I'm trying to talk about his YouTube channel, all of that, bro. Fam, nah, man. Like, do you get me? It's crazy, bro. And I think Ronaldo, a little bit of what's happened to Ronaldo is slightly what happened to Beckham as well, bro. Beckham became an absolute superstar. Do you get me? Like, he's married to Victoria. Do you get me? He's modeling. He's doing all of these different things. He's like a crazy celebrity. And because of that, people started to act like this guy weren't a baller. Like, do you get me? Like, man started just chucking out the word overrated and all of that stuff. Like, Beckham wasn't Beckham. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? And fam, like, it just annoys me, man. Do you get me? Like, this conversation annoys me because I think what happens a lot of the time is that people look at Messi. Bro, imagine the bar that you're setting is the greatest player ever. Do you get me? And because someone may not be as naturally talented as the greatest player ever, you're trying to act like man was some gym man. Like, do you get me? What on earth are we talking about, bro?
I hear
it's so disrespectful.
I hear it.
So disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. It's a conversation that irks me so much because, bro, do you know what this guy was doing? Bro?
I do hear it, man. I do. You know what is it? I think.
Let me just finish this point and I'll let you go. And the crazy thing is that when people talk about entertaining, bro, you know, the revisionism is crazy. People are talking about entertainment. Bro, Ronaldo was nothing but entertainment. In fact, one of his major criticisms is that you're trying to entertain too much and you don't have enough end products. Bro, that's what they were saying about him when he was younger. They were saying, look at all of these step overs, look at these tricks, look at these flicks. Nah, you need to be more efficient. You need to get more goals, bro. And now, man are trying to act like he's some goal poacher. What on earth are we talking about? Oh my days, nah. It's shocking. It's nasty. And I'm thinking, bro, I am not, bro. I refuse to allow my children to think that Ronaldo was a goal poacher, bro. Bro, no way. I'm going to make sure that they watch the tapes. I'm going to tell them the stories, bro. I am going to make sure that they know that this guy is one of the most naturally gifted footballers to have ever played this game. What on earth are we talking about? It's disgusting what they're trying to do. And I will not stand for it, bro. That's my little rant done, bro. Because it's crazy, fam. It's crazy. Bro, imagine, yeah. Imagine, bro. Imagine, fam. Who's one of your favorite Arsenal players? Tell me.
10, Henry.
Henry. Imagine, bro. Henry. Imagine his career extended a little bit longer. Do you get me? And imagine, fam, man just turned into, like, he was just a pure penny box. He done what Ronaldo did, essentially. Do you get me? Or it's like, yeah. And then imagine, man, now trying to say, yeah, Henry, that tapping merchant. Do you get me?
It wouldn't surprise me, though, bro. That's the era,
bro.
that we live in now, man.
What on earth is going on, man? So that whole conversation, like, it really annoys me. Do you get me? Because, bro, like, yeah, man, like, do you get me? And Rod, see, I was about to say something crazy about Rodri, but I told my tongue.
Yeah, bro, wait, do the research first.
Yeah, let me make sure. I need to verify this quote. I need to verify this quote. Then Rodri, and Rodri, it's sad as well, bro. It's sad as well because I rate Rodri so highly. Do you get me? I rate Rodri so highly. Do you get me? So it's like, yeah, man, don't make me have to start an agenda against you, bro. Do you get me? Rodri, man. But yeah.
But those of us who really play against him quickly realize the difference. Which, again, I guess to be fair to him, he's also.
You want to talk about the latter stages of his career? If you want to talk about the latter stages of his career, bro, then it's like, cool. Like, do you get me? We know what Ronaldo was towards the end. Like, we know what he's been towards the latter stages of his career, bro. But it's just like, fam, that's why, you know, when even Ronaldo came back to United, and of course, it was like, Ronaldo coming back to United, it gave me some brilliant moments. Just me as a Man United fan, like, bro, Old Trafford, do you get me? Like, back then, the Sioux weren't about, bro. Do you get me? So it's like, it was nice to see all of these different things. Your legend comes back, like, it's great. Like, do you get me? I think Arsenal fans, they experienced a similar thing when Henry came back on loan just for that little spell. And it was just like, yeah, man, it's always great to welcome back a legend. Do you get me? But, bro, man ain't judging Ronaldo. Ronaldo's legacy isn't that second spell at United, bro. Ronaldo was solidified from when he left for Madrid, bro. Do you know what he done? Like, do you get me? 3 Prems in a row, back-to-back Champions League finals, won the Champions League for us, Ballon d'Or, player of the season, young player of the season, bro. Ronaldo, like, yeah, man. So I just this conversation, it just annoys me. Like, it annoys me so much, bro. It annoys me because it's just, I don't know what's going on. And you know what the scary thing, bro? There's going to be kids that actually believe this.
Yeah, no,
there's going to be a, bro. So, bro, it's down to, that's what I realized about football. Do you get me? You know, I've realized this about sports. Do you get me? It's like, fam, you actually have to keep things alive. Do you get me? Because the younger generation, especially with the internet, they're going to run with whatever, bro. Do you get me? They're gonna run with whatever, bro. Like, it's crazy, fam. Like, they're gonna all of a sudden start having the nastiest of agendas. So yeah, man. Like, bro, I just can't believe it.
Thank you for doing your part, bro.
I can't believe it.
I don't think you could have been any more comprehensive in how you feel about this discussion.
I can't. Oh, it makes me sick, bro. Let's talk about some Premier League games, bro. Ronaldo, bro. Cristiano.
It's crazy.
Bro,
it's crazy. I'm not surprised, man. This is the era that we live in now, so you have to just take it as it is. But, bro, to be fair, I think a perfect transition is, you're speaking about the kids and what the kids are used to seeing. And one thing I'll say the kids are not used to seeing is they're not used to seeing Man City lose 4 games in a row. That's what the kids are not used to seeing. These little kids in primary school that are out here being Man City fans. They're not used to seeing that, bro. They never saw that.
Ace, what's my line?
They never saw that.
What's my line, bro? When it comes to City, bro, I remember holding 8 to Middlesbrough, bro. Do you get me? To you young kids, bro, I remember City before the money, bro. I remember when Middlesbrough were giving them 8s. Like, hold that. But yeah, let's continue, bro.
But
Hey, man. I just say
yeah, actually, yo.
last 10 years have been tough, but
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
man, bro. Listen, it's been tough for everyone,
they've
man.
been
This is why
tough.
we have to enjoy what we can.
Yeah, man.
But
Hey.
but yeah, that said, man, yeah, one thing the kids haven't seen, man, is City be on this run of form that they're currently in. And you know, this weekend they didn't have a big game against Spurs, who also need to brush off what they also delivered before that last international break, man. After the high of slapping up Villa 4-1 to then the low of losing to Ipswich, bro, 2-1. Giving Ipswich their first
Galatasaray
win
in
in
between as
over.
well, bro.
Oh, in between as well. You know, I even forgot about that, bro. Yeah, Galatasaray in between, you know. Like, gave Ipswich their first win in over 20 years, bro. So their last win in the Prem was in 2002. And they came to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, bro. For that stadium to be worth more than that. No, it is. I want to say probably. It's worth more than the entire history as a football club, bro. They came to that stadium and came and left with all 3 points. So, boy. So, yeah, this is going to be a massive game because both teams are in desperate need for a response based on how they kind of ended that international break. And, yeah, man. But then again, at the same time, man, Spurs are really City's bogey team, bro. I was looking at their last 10 Premier League matches. I see Spurs have beat City 5 times. City have only beat Spurs 3 times. And I said, all of that said, both teams needed to win. How do you see this game going, bro? What's your initial thoughts? And then we get into it.
Yeah, no, this is a big game. Obviously, yeah, we spoke about Spurs, and yeah, they're such a weird team. I said it last stream, bro. Proper weird team, man. Like, so weird to the point where it wouldn't surprise me if they beat City. That's how weird they are, man. They're so weird. Like, they're weird, bro. They're weird. Like, what a weird team, bro. Like, honestly, I was thinking, fam, being
they're
a
so
Spurs
hard to call,
supporter,
bro.
fam,
Yeah,
being
they're
a Spurs
so hard.
supporter
But I
must be
told you, bro,
so,
every time I have them to win, they lose. When I have them to lose, they
bro.
win. I don't know what to
Bro,
predict anymore, bro. I genuinely don't know what to
weird
predict
team,
anymore.
man. Weird team. But yeah, man, like I think, yeah, they really do need to like get things back on track. Yeah, I think that Ipswich defeat would have been really disappointing. Not just the defeat itself, I think the nature of the defeat. I think that would be disappointing. So yeah, and then City, we spoke about it. Pep, we're not used to seeing him in these conditions. And just
These
for them,
conditions.
obviously, nah, bro, in these conditions, bro, it's crazy, fam. It's crazy, bro. We're not used to seeing him like this, fam. Like, bro, like, fam, man said midweek Sporting gave him 4, and
Hey,
then what was it? Brighton they had next,
yeah.
and then fam, boom, two
Bro,
one.
they
Like, do
conceded
you get
chance
me,
after chance now. They could have got
bro?
slapped by Brighton in that second half as well, man.
Bro,
They
Brighton
could have
were
got
on them.
slapped in that second half by
Brighton were
Brighton.
on
Oh
them.
my
Oh, and
goodness, yeah.
bro, I'm sorry. Um, just very quickly. I know we spoke about
Mm,
him
mm.
previously, but just because we're not going to talk about them in this fixture run, bro,
Okay.
Brighton, bro. Like, again, I very quickly. But how do they keep doing this, bro? Because you see this brother
Mm.
that they've created now. Again, do you get me? This Belabor brother,
Oh, bro, I thought we
fam,
talk about it, bro.
bro.
Oh, is he
Hey,
moving
man.
crazy international as well?
Bro, no, bro. I was just,
Oh,
during
just
international break.
reflecting.
During international break, bro. Fam, I have to find things to. Do you get me? Like, bro, I'm just out here on YouTube. I'm just watching different highlights. I'm watching old matches. Do you get me? I've got to feed my Premier League. What do you call it? Withdrawal. Do you get me? And I was just watching this guy again, bro. I was just like, yeah, bro, nasty.
Serious
But
problem,
yeah,
man.
very just quick mention for him. But yeah, City, I think is one of them ones where, yeah, we're not used to seeing them like this. But for them, it's bigger. There's a bigger picture because obviously you've got the title race. You're 5 points behind Liverpool, and you've got Liverpool next after this game. City need to win.
Mm.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
They need to
yeah,
win. They do
yeah.
have players coming back as well. Obviously, De Bruyne, I think, yeah, like he was already part of them squads, but he hadn't started. But I think now he should be good to start. Like, do you get me? I think these 2 weeks as well, he's been able to like train and stuff. I think Grealish is back in training as well. Like, so yeah, I think people are coming back, and it's a big game for them. City versus Spurs is normally a good game as well, just even from a neutral perspective, like entertainment wise. So yeah, I think it's one of them ones where there's a lot on the line for both managers, because the Spurs, they need to pick up results quickly. And City, they need to also make sure that Liverpool don't start to create too much of a gap. And so yeah, big result. I mean, big game rather.
No, 100%, man. And yeah, and I, like you said too, normally they do have good games, and I think especially this year it's going to be another good game, man. Because for all of the kind of flaws when we speak about Spurs and maybe kind of their up and down, topsy turvy kind of form, the one thing that we can say is that even with these players that probably aren't as good as City's, these lot, and has got these lot capable of scoring goals, man. I was seeing that they're currently first and second for the most goals scored this season. And first is first. So, and one thing that we've spoken about City numerous times this season is that City give you a chance. And I think that's what I'm really interested in. Is I know this Pep guy over the last during this international break must have just been there, just analyzing, just thinking. Firstly, how can I hurt this first team? And secondly, how can I stop my team from just being constantly open all the time? So I think I'm very interested to see how he approaches them, whether there's any kind of changes from City's point of view to kind of also stop Spurs in terms of their kind of threat going forward. But I think what makes this game especially hard to call, basically I'll talk through like kind of like my thought process, and then I'll kind of give my kind of final prediction, like how I've kind of got to it. I think the first starting point of what I think probably I think I see the best result from a Spurs point of view because of what you said too about City needing to win is I see a draw. I think that would be a very good result for Spurs to go away at Etihad and leave with at least a point, because especially because City need to win this game. So City are going to go all out to win this game. So I see a 2-2 draw because I think both teams have 2 goals in them. So that was like my starting point as like my prediction. I then see Bentancur is now suspended for the next 7 games because of obviously what he said about the South Koreans and Son. So boy, that's another one we won't get into. But he's suspended now. And I think why that makes me a bit concerned is now I'm not sure. Wendy, I know you're a Spurs fan. Maybe you can enlighten me on this. It might help me. My prediction is I'm not sure what this Ange guy is now going to do. Because if he's going to replace the Bentancur hole with Basuma, I'm a little bit more confident. I say Basuma, Sarr, Kulu, it makes a bit more sense. If this madman, and I wouldn't put it above him, replaces that Bentancur hole with Maddison, which I wouldn't be shocked if he did, I say you might get slapped. You might get slapped. So I mean, that's my kind of concern. I don't know what Andy's going to do in terms of his midfield, whether he's going to go more defensively solid with Basuma and Sarr and Kulu, or he's going to just go and be Ange and go Kulu, Maddison and Sarr. So that's where I now lean away from the 2-2 because of Bentancur not being there and not knowing what Andy's going to do. I then move slightly towards, okay, cool. Now I have City like edging, definitely like let's see, best defo. But if he goes mad, this is 1 minute. And I agree. And this is why I say Wendy, can you also sit there and tell me that he's not going to go mad this 100%? I'm not sure if you can, because I've watched enough Spurs to say I'm not confident he's not going to do it. So that's my first concern when it comes to Tottenham and how they approach this game. I then look at the next kind of result where I'm like,
sorry, Sarr, Maddison, and Kulu's.
Bro, he'll do it, bro. I've seen him do it enough times to know that he's capable. This is why I say, Ange, please, let's be guided. Let's be sensible. Okay, let's know that City might be on a 4-game losing streak, but City are desperate for a win, and you're going to Etihad. I think my kind of concern in this game is how confident am I that City don't blow out Spurs in the first kind of like start of the game. I think that's the thing that City have also shown us too, is that City start really fast, but in the second half, from what we saw towards the end of the international break, is that they slow down a bit. So I feel like if Spurs can hang in there and stay in the game, then I think they have more than enough to at least take a point from there. But I can also see them getting blown out if they make the wrong choice when it comes to the midfield. And that's kind of my kind of concern. So that's when, again, I now lean more because of that uncertainty. I now lean again more to City. And like you said too, with City desperately needing to win this game, knowing that if they drop any more points, they're kind of in Arsenal's position where you might as well just say, boy, it looks like it's long, like in terms of catching up to Liverpool. So I think because of those factors, them needing to win, the fact that, Haaland, he's been kind of in and out of form. He was picking up towards the end. I think I'm definitely going for a City win. and then I've gone back and forth between like either if it's a blowout, I can see like a 3-1 because I can see Spurs also having enough to also hurt City. Is where I'm now like 3-2, but I think I'm gonna fall on 3-2. Just because, again, when he's giving me a bit of confidence that he might go for Basuma, is why I'm going 3-2. But if he goes for a Madison, Kulu, and Saar midfield, then, brother, it could get really, really spooky on Saturday. It could get really spooky on Saturday night. But yeah, bro, how do you see? What's your kind of prediction for this game before we kind of move on to the other ones?
I don't think he'll go Madison and Kulu. Like, I think he probably will put Basuma there. I'm expecting a good game. I think I'm expecting like quite an open game as well. So yeah, I can definitely see goals. Spurs, like we said, they do historically do well against City. And was it last season that it was 3-3?
Yeah, it was.
Was that last season?
Yeah,
when like Kulu scored the header.
Yeah.
So like typically quite entertaining games. I am going to say 3-1 City.
You're gonna go for the 3-1. Why? So you're more confident that it will be a bit more comfortable.
I think City will respond. I think City have to respond. I think they will respond. And then when I look at just like De Bruyne, like I think he can be a massive factor. Like I think if he can get like some good minutes on that pitch or even potentially start, then I think that changes a lot of things. Because like I think Haaland scored during the international break as well. And even though he scored in his last match, like I think he's not been firing like he was earlier on in the season. And I think De Bruyne potentially that will help him. So I'm gonna go 3-1.
Yeah, man. Honestly, again, I'm now also thinking too whether I am confident enough to even differential this one because I'm also looking at the injuries too. Where I think Romero, I'm not sure he's a bit of a doubt after the international break.
Man, and I'm
Steve Van der Ven. Bro, I told you I'm battling between that 3-1 and 3-2 result. If I'm being honest, that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go 3-1 as well, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. I can't differentiate this.
We got the VAR.
I don't believe in nah, man. Nah.
I thought that was factored in. I thought that result was in. Hey, man.
To be fair, you surprised me that I didn't actually see you going 3-1 as well. I thought maybe you might think it would be closer than maybe I thought it would. So
I expect City to respond. Yeah.
You know what? Cool. I'll stick to it. I said it first, so I'll go 3-2. Let's see what happens. I'll go 3-2. Cool. I'll be a man of integrity. I'll go 3-2. So Spurs, please, at least get that second goal. As long as Spurs score 2, I'm good.
That's fine.
I'm good. I have to support the up. And Wendy, I see Wendy go for a 1-1. And I don't see this one, man. I think Spurs defensively, I'm not confident on, man. And I think City are going to be all out at the Etihad. I think if Spurs were a team that maybe they approach games in a bit more of like a let's stay in it for the first 20, 30 minutes and then let's now try play our football, I'll be a bit more confident because I know that's not how Andy's going to approach it. Again, it just makes me lean towards you're going to fall into City's hands a bit more and City are going to just come out firing because they desperately need to bounce back. As good as Spurs' form usually is against City. But again, I could be wrong. So we'll see how it actually plays out. But I won't be surprised if in the first half, City can really come out and blow out Spurs if Spurs aren't careful and they don't approach it correctly. So let's see what happens. But going from one Manchester team to the other, because I've seen the United fans. Oh, sorry, I just see when you say 3-3 last season with the West team. And I hear it's a good point. Again, we could be wrong. So, and last season, what I will say too, that I watched that game and the first half, if Haaland wasn't missing sitter after sitter, they again could have blown you out. So also too, the final result isn't the final kind of what happened because I watched that game last season. So it ended up being a good result. And Spurs
also, Wendy is Kolo Defo fit because I saw like he had, I think it was like a little bit of a shoulder injury like during international break for Sweden, and so just wanted to see if there's been any updates.
Let us know if you can look at that in the background. So we'll see. It's always hard to call this City Spurs game because a lot of years you'd think City have this and then Spurs will do something crazy and somehow leave with something. So we'll see. I won't be mad at that all. Me, Spurs, please go and take a point from them. You help everyone out. So do what you need to do, man. But yeah, so like I was saying, moving from one Manchester team to the other,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the United fan base, man. I haven't seen United fans this giddy in the years, bro. I haven't seen United fans so excited to watch their team play. I said, wow, this is crazy. Look how a different manager can change fortunes and change how people are seeing stuff, bro. So yeah, man, talk to me, bro. How are you feeling about this Ipswich game? How confident are you? How happy are you with the appointment? Things that you've been seeing. I've seen United fans analyzing the training footage and
Yeah,
say, whoa,
bro,
that training
bro,
footage has given me
uh,
life. So let me know what
bro.
we haven't caught on
It's
that.
crazy, man.
What are you
Yeah,
saying?
nah, I think, yeah, firstly, I think I've already said it. Yeah, no, I am very happy with the appointment. Like, yeah, um, I think Amorim, he comes across very well. Like, yeah, like he speaks well. Like, I think he presents himself very well. And yeah, like he looks like an intelligent football person, just generally. Like, do you get me? And I think, yeah, a lot of the things that he's saying, I think they're signs for encouragement. And so I think when he had the interview and they asked him, oh, what to expect against Ipswich, like, yeah, what should we expect from an Amorim team? And again, he's not someone where he's going to be saying loads of crazy things like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to change everything like in one game or except like, yeah, he doesn't get carried away. But one of the key things he said like, you will see an identity, like some sort of identity. Like, do you get me? And it's like, you might not like everything, first of all. Like, do you get me? Like, everything might not be flowing, but yeah, you'll see what, like, we're trying to do something. And I think, yeah, like United fans, that's what we've been crying out for. Like, do you get me? Like, we've been crying out for like some sort of identity. We've been crying out for structure. We've been crying out for a plan. And it's crazy because, like, even when like I look at a lot of the like it was becoming so tiresome, like towards obviously like the end of Ten Hag's reign, especially when we were talking about Man United matches, because I said it, bro. I was just like, bro, I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again. And it'll get to the United section and it'll just be like, bro, I've spoken about these midfield issues. I've spoken about the structure. I've spoken about the pressing. And I remember saying, bro, I just can't wait for like the new manager to arrive. So now we can actually start analyzing properly again. Do you get me? So yeah, I think Amorim, very happy with the appointment. I think he comes across very well. Like I said, like he's saying a lot of the right things. But obviously it's one thing to say and it's another thing to do it. Do you get it? So yeah, like from like as regards to what he could have done without playing a football match, he's done a lot of things right. Like, do you get me? Like, he's communicated key points. He's let us know that this is the plan. This is what it is that he's going to try and to do. And yeah, like I think a lot of United fans, the majority of United fans, I think we're happy with the appointment. So yeah, from that perspective, happy. And yeah, bro, fam, the United fans, we've been starving, man. Like, do you get me? Bro, do you get me? Been watching those training videos, clips, people out here saying, raw. So you see the formation here. All right, cool.
I
Is
guess
this
it's kind
potentially
of
an
you. Are you
indicator?
more confident now that he's definitely going with that back
I
three
think he
now?
will.
I
Yeah, I
know.
think he's going with the
Yeah,
three. I think he's going with the three
cool.
at the back. I think he will go with the three at the back. So yeah, but yeah, like just generally, I think yeah, Amorim again, like he's just someone who like I think he's installing confidence. Do you get me? Like, yeah, with a lot of the things that he's saying. Um, Now, obviously, like he had a certain system at Sporting. He had the 3-4-3 system that he was operating. And I think briefly last stream we spoke about it. And yeah, we'll have his right centre back, left centre back, and his centre back. And then often what will happen is that his centre back will venture into midfield, and then the goalkeeper will now occupy that space. And then yeah, that's a lot of the time how they'll build up. And then obviously you have the wing backs there, you have the inside tens, you have the two in the middle, and then you have the nine up top. And it's going to be interesting to see what players fit this Amorim system. Like we've spoken about, different players and who potentially could do well there. I think he's back in training. That's very encouraging. We want to see him. And yeah, like there's been conversations regarding Mount and you know Ahmad and where's Rashford going to play. And I think these are a lot of the things that we're probably going to like see over the next few weeks as regards to like, okay, you know what, who works where. And there's some players where we already kind of know that, okay, you know what, you should be good here. And then there's other players where we're like, like we're not quite so sure, or like what does Amorim see you as, like where will Amorim play you? So yeah, there's
Okay,
a
wait,
lot
who
of
are you thinking,
questions.
sorry, in that regard, sorry? Who do you have in mind when you say that?
Oh, like where will Amorim play you?
Yeah, like those kind of
That
players
bit.
that you're not really
So I
sure.
think
Yeah.
someone like an Anthony, for example, a lot of the speculation has been, oh, you know what, you can convert to wing back. Like, do you get me? So it's just like I think Rashford, we've been speaking about, oh, you might play as a 9, and do you get me? Whereas like, yeah, like typically obviously in this 4-2-3-1 system, he'll normally be playing off the left or off the right. Like so, yeah, like you've got players there where we're looking and we're thinking, cool. Even Shaw can play as left centre back, but he could also play wing back. But I think he's more suited to left centre back in this system. So is Amorim going to look at it and say, you know what, Shaw, you're going to be a left centre back. You're not going to be a wing back. So yeah. And then even with their wing backs, it's like, oh, is Garnacho going to play at wing back? I'm like, so there's all of these different questions that obviously we've just got to wait to see and see how things pan out. And yeah, I'm even just from like an outside perspective, bro. I was gonna ask you 2 questions. I was gonna ask you one,
Okay.
from a rival fan perspective, what do you think of the appointment and what do you think of Amorim so far from what you've seen? And 2, what players do you expect to shine under this system?
Okay, that's good questions. The first one, yeah, no, my initial thoughts are I'm definitely not happy with it as a rival, and I guess from your point of view, it's probably a good thing. I think from like looking at the outside of like I guess United and just enjoying the years that United have been going through recently. I bet this is probably one of the first times I think you guys have actually brought in a manager where he is clearly, I think even just like hearing him speak from the outside too, I think he's saying a lot of the things that I can imagine a fan would want to hear, which I think is so key. Like I said, with why I've given Arteta so much more time than the other fans would give him, because again, that initial messaging that you're giving the fans can go such a long way when you're making it very clear that we have not been a good team or we're not there yet at all, and I'm trying to take us back there. Whether you then believe that or not, I think that's on you as a fan. But I think based on how he's been communicating, I agree with you. But I think he said a lot of the right things where he's been very honest and said, you know what, like you said, this might take a bit of time, but this is how I want to play. I'm going to have a clear identity. With Ten Hag, for his whole tenure. Listen, I was waiting. Even me as a rival, I said, bro, please now show us. All the fans are saying that you're clueless, you don't know what you're doing. Show us what you're trying to do. And then, we can prove everyone wrong, but he never showed us. Whereas Amorim, he's definitely speaking as if someone who that's going to be his main priority, is that regardless of whether it works or it doesn't work, he's at least going to show you what he's trying to do. Then the bigger question that I have is now United as an organization. How much do you guys back him completely? How much do you give him power? How much do you also humble yourself to know how badly you guys have been and say, you know what, we're going to give you the keys. Understand? I'm Ineos and Amorim. We're going to do what we need to do to bring United back. I think if that kind of relationship isn't solid, like either Ineos aren't giving him the plays that he needs, or not giving him the power to drop the plays he wants to drop, or they're not giving him the say in the window to bring in who he wants to bring in, then I think ultimately he will fail, because it is a very specialist system in terms of what he's trying to do. So I think if you can marry that up, then it's definitely the most concerned I've been looking at United from the outside for a very long time now, is what I'd say based on what I've seen so far. Again, I think a lot of your players probably fit a back kind of free system anyway. It probably will help a lot of your players even shine relative to what they've been shining so far. Because again, it's also different. I think that's another really big factor too, where when everyone is playing a certain way, if you can come and play slightly different, like Chelsea showed us, or like what's it called, Leverkusen last year, it can be a massive span in the works now, where now you're a very good team who's playing this system that we're only used to seeing much smaller teams play. Understand? That kind of relationship could be worrying. So that's kind of like my initial thoughts with Amorim. Whether it's going to work, how quickly it's going to work out, that remains to be seen. But I definitely say from the outside, it's definitely I would definitely be encouraged if I was a United fan based on everything I'm seeing from the outside. In terms of the players that are that I think could shine in this system, yeah, we've spoken about him, man. I think the one that comes to mind firstly is Ahmad, man. Because again, I think he's one of those like specialist type of players where if you're not playing the right formation and system, he'd struggle because he wants to play. He's not a right winger. He's not. I don't think he's also necessarily a cam, but that kind of right half space, I think he can really shine in that system. So I think this system is gonna really help him find a position in the team that a lot of teams don't usually have because they don't play a player in that space the way you do when you have a 3-4-2-1. So I think he could definitely shine in the system. Someone like like a Euro, I think he's another one where a young promising center back playing in the back three is much easier, much better than playing in the back two. So again, that kind of reduces the pressure and the expectation on him as well, playing right center back in this kind of back three formation. I think he could be really good in this system. I even look at like an outside player where again his issue is just fitness. I think there's two that are fitness, and one is sure. I think you can. I think you said you see him more as a left wing back, or did you say that?
Left centre back.
Or as a left centre back. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I think that's what his future is. When I've seen him play there, I think again physically, like we kind of spoke about when we were speaking about Reece James. Sometimes too, you also need to find these players that maybe when they're struggling, you give them a role that's a bit less intensive than what they're used to. So I think if he has any future at United, it's going to be in a left centre back position. He can't play as a left wing back, running back and forth. So I think he could potentially do well competing with Martinez at this early start before you guys maybe look at that position. I think that's definitely one that you might have to look at in terms of going forward in the wider picture. Another one, again, based on fitness, is Mason Mount. I've heard it so many times, man, that his best form at Chelsea was with a back three, playing in that kind of left attacking mid position. Obviously, we know that's going to probably be Bruno's position, but if there's like opportunities for maybe Ahmad as well, there might be competition there if he can stay fit. I don't know exactly where he will fall in, but I think he's another player that his future United was looking like a complete dud. But maybe with this change in formation, there could be an opportunity for him in that kind of regard. Yeah, then I think those are probably the main ones that kind of come to mind. Probably like maybe another one. Last one is probably be Onana. Just because, again, he's one that he was brought in for a very clear purpose, a very clear kind of skill set, and we just never really saw it under Ten Hag because give him the ball and he's going long anyway. So maybe with more build-up play, more passing options right next to him, we see why you brought in ball playing goalkeeper like that. So he's one again where we might actually see what his superpower was or is and why you brought him in. I think those are the players. The one, again, I've spoken about, the one I'm probably the most concerned about is really Rashford, man. I think he's either going to really surprise me or he's going to prove what I already think, which is him as a striker. I just don't know whether there's any longevity in that. But I also at the same time think that's probably the only position he can play. And it's so critical in terms of his importance to United, his wages. I think there's so many factors around him that's also where I'm looking at Amorim and I'm saying, how much power do you really have? Because if he's just not performing and you're just still playing him there, then I lean more to, you know what, I can be a bit more calm because as well as you might have your identity, you might be a good coach, the politics are above you and it's bigger than you kind of stuff. So I think that's what I'm really kind of looking at. That if they really give him that say to do what he wants to do, then boy, that's when I think I'll be a lot more kind of concerned about United going forward. So yeah, those are my kind of initial thoughts, I guess. Yeah.
I hear that, bro. I hear that. I think, I agree with the Shaw thing. That's what I was saying. I think, left centre back. That's where he needs to play. Ahmad, I don't need to speak about Ahmad again. You know what I think about Ahmad. I think, when I look at like players in this United team who I'm like, you know what, you guys, man, like the potential is serious. Like obviously, Kobe, that's my guy. And then Ahmad, look at him and I'm like, yeah, man, like I just think you're someone. Ahmad's just someone as well. Like he's just not been given chances. And I don't like when managers do this thing, and I don't know, like you might have examples of where it's happened to certain players in your club, where it's like fans are pushing for someone to play.
Yep.
And then they play, and then either one or two things happen. It's either they play well, and then the manager's like, all right, cool, you played well, so you have to play again. Or like when they do play well and they have to play again, then at the first moment of the first dip in form, the first bad performance, then they're straight back on the bench again. Do you
Yeah.
get me? Like, so it's
Yeah.
just almost like
they're playing him as if like they're forced to play him because of fan
yeah, like
pressure.
you get me?
But,
Yeah, and then it's just like the first little. Whereas other players, they could be doing whatever. Do you get me? And you don't drop them. I think that's really annoying. Like, do you get me? When managers do that, and I hope Amorim doesn't do that. And then yeah, I think yeah, secondly, and then yeah, certain players where it's just like fam, even when they are performing well, or certain times when they are performing well, you're just not giving them chances. And yeah, man, like I just think I want to see Ahmad like just have, and obviously he has to earn it as well because it's a new manager. You've got to put in the performances, and the manager Amorim, he's initially going to come in and he's going to like pick his players. Like, do you get it? And you've got to give him like, I think as United fans, we've kind of got to try to not, at least for the initial like few weeks, we just kind of just got to let him figure things out as regards to player selection and stuff. Like, so yeah, man. Like, and I just hope yeah, like, but I'm hopeful Ahmad he's just able to like go from strength to strength. Then yeah, Ugarte, obviously someone who has played under Amorim. So like I'm gonna be looking at him closely because yeah, like Amorim knows what his strengths are, he knows what his weaknesses are, and yeah, this system I think can favor him. Obviously, Bruno, we've spoken about Bruno a lot. He's our captain, he's a player who like he can show extreme moments of quality, and we just need him to be more disciplined. I think that's the thing. Like, we need him to be more disciplined. Like, we need him to play within the system. Like, do you get it? Like, we need him to play within the system. It doesn't mean that you still can't try things. It doesn't mean that you can't go for the crazy pass here or there, or you can't go for the crazy shot here or there. But I think, yeah, like, we just need you to be disciplined. Like, we need you to help keep things ticking. And I think, yeah, like, that's the Bruno we want to see. Like, do you get me? Like, me as a United fan, bro, and I think you're very similar with this. It's like, you see, whenever like I'm critical of certain players or etc., bro, I want them to prove me wrong and do well. Like, do you get me? Like, I don't have no like, if you play for Man United, bro, I want you to do well. Like, do you get me? Like, I want you to do well. I want you to prove me wrong. Like, do you get me? I support my players. Like, do you get me? But also at the same time, it's like, bro, I'm not like, when we were setting up the stream, I'm not just gonna come here and just lie. Like, do you get me? Or just say things that I don't believe are true. Like, do you get it? So yeah, man. Like, there's certain players here where it's just like I think we need to see them like one step up. Rashford is one of them, where it's just like he definitely needs to step up. Like, do you get me? And I see people talking about like all of this. That's another thing I'm seeing are him going to America and watching the
I
basketball.
had conversations
Bro,
about that, man.
I don't care about that. Do you get me, bro? Like,
Well, very
bro,
simple. I need to say
yeah,
that.
bro. I don't care, fam. Bro? Go and enjoy your basketball game, bro. I don't care. Like, do you get me? I care what you do on the pitch. Do you get me? I care as again. Turn up, make sure you're being on time when it comes to training. Like, make sure you're applying yourself and make sure you're putting in performances. Do you get me? I don't, bro, if you want to go to New York and have a break, go to New York and have a break. Watch a game, bro. Like, when I was seeing people discussing that and saying, oh, bro, yeah, miss me with all of that. Do you get me? But yeah, like Rashford on the pitch, yeah, I want to see like him perform. And like you said,
this is really his last chance, man. This is make or break for Rashford.
Yeah,
I
bro,
think we
Rashford,
can't underestimate, we can't like minimize how massive this is. Like, he needs to make that strike position work, and it's crazy because it's been a position he's never shown that he enjoys playing or he's happy to play.
Do you think that Amorim might surprise us?
And like, make him left wing back.
Like, no, I don't.
Oh, but behind.
Crazy.
Left mid,
like, yeah, you get me? Yeah.
But surprise us in what way? Sorry.
Like, so do you think he might surprise us and play him in one of those two positions, like
behind? I think definitely. I think this weekend he would definitely start him up front. Whether he would try, I think he'll definitely try him in those positions because again, I think he will give him enough rope to hang himself. I think he will start him up front because that's probably his best chance to succeed in the short to medium term. And then I think he would then gradually try him in the behind the striker. If you don't work there, he'll be try him one time on the left mid. If you don't work, I think that's when it's done. So I think he'll definitely give him those free opportunities to see whether he can make any of them stick. So yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me him trying it, but I think it will probably show if he tried it first, then I'm cool. But I don't see him. I think this weekend he's gonna play up front. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
where even Amorim probably thinks that this is his best chance to
And that's
really.
another thing I was going to quickly say, bro.
Yeah.
So where do you think Hoyland fits in all of this?
I think he's gonna have to probably, if Rashford shines, he's gonna have to be back up to Rashford. But if Rashford doesn't shine, then he's gonna get his spot back really quickly. So I think he just needs to either just wait for Rashford to either rise and then now what he should have been in the first place, which is be a backup striker. Because Hoyland, let's be real as well, man. He should not be Manchester United's starting striker. Let's put aside the
Yep.
price. Let's put like he's a young striker who's developing in the game. He should not be Manchester United's starting striker. Let's just, even if Rashford doesn't shine, you should go get a striker this summer. That's what it then means. It doesn't then mean you give the keys to Hoyland.
I think that's what he's gonna do, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a couple of key positions, even just whilst you touched on it, but I think even recently, like I think we've had strong links to Alphonso Davies, and then obviously the big one is, you know, the man at the moment currently, Gyökeres, you just can't stop scoring. Do you get me? And I think you've been linked to him as well. So yeah, like I think like there's a couple of key positions where I think he'll be looking at and saying, yeah, you know what, like
What I would say though is if Rashford doesn't shine in the up front and Hoyland could do something crazy between now and the season, then again that might also change things. We can only speak from where we are right now. Based on what we've seen right now, unless he might develop in a crazy way where now what we're talking about, maybe now it's not looking as crazy. But the Hoyland I'm seeing right now play week in, week out for United, I think it's going to be a battle between him and Rashford between now and end of the season to who's going to really hold down that position. So we'll see who takes at the end. Because even Rashford, if I'm being honest, I think I think that's the kind of the weird thing now with Rashford, that even if he does really shine, I don't know what a question to you then. Is that if Rashford does really well between now and end of the season up front, does that change anything in your eyes in terms of like maybe thinking, you know what, let's continue and give him the opportunity to really be United's starting striker? Or do you still say we need a striker? Like, what does that kind of say to you if he does well up front between now and end of the season?
I still say we need a striker.
Okay.
I still say we need a striker. I think, because I think the thing is with Rashford is that I think Rashford has had spells, like I think it's been too on and off. I think that's the problem with Rashford. So it's just like like he'll have this period where he's playing well, things are going good, do you get me, and the season's been quite good, and then he'll dip the next season. And then so if Rashford was to now pick it up, I think that's the problem, is that like I think relying on him to continually do that for like season upon season. So relying on him for the entirety of the next season to like be United striker and perform at a high level. I hope he can. Like I really hope he could, but I think it is a risk. Like it's a risk. Like so, I think like you'll be looking at it, and like I think probably you'd still potentially want to get a striker in.
Okay. Do you see any? What if he did? Let's say do really well between now and the season. Could you see a thing where? Do you believe in Hoyland enough that cool? If Hoyland is still the backup and still fighting with him for that position, or are you still just like you still want a striker in that regard too? I just want to clarify that bit. You still have Hoyland, you still want a striker regardless.
I would ideally want a striker. Like,
okay. Flipping it. Last thing. So if Hoyland now was to like being the starting striker, do you really well between now and end of the season? Are you confident? Will you give him the keys, or will you still say you need a striker?
I still want a striker.
Okay, thank you. You clarified those scenarios. Thank you. I just want it to be clear. Cool.
Bro. I still want a striker. I think the figures with United, I think, man, having a certified, like, again, unless you've got, like, if you're playing in the system, if you're like Liverpool and you've got someone like a Salah who's able to just, do the business, then cool. And obviously when City won the league, I mean, not City, Liverpool won the league, do you get me? They had Salah and they had Mane, like, do you get me, getting goals. And then obviously we've seen City with Haaland. Prior to that was Aguero, and then obviously City had the whole thing when they were doing the false nine, which is like, that's just Pep and City just doing a mad thing, like, you get it. So it's like, but typically, like, man, like again, I think a lot of Arsenal fans, this is a discussion that you guys are having, where it's just like, you know what, like, as well as Havertz has done in periods, if you had that, do you get me, number 9 who can guarantee you goals, like how much does that improve you? Like, do
Yeah.
you get it? And I think that's the thing. Like, do you get me? Like, so yeah, man. Like, I think United, like, yeah, like I would like to see us go and get someone. So yeah, and like Xerxes, I don't see Xerxes as a 9. Like, do you get me? So I don't even put him in that. Like, do you get me? Like,
Okay.
yeah. And so yeah, like I think it's gonna be interesting. But obviously, from now to the end of the season, like, do you get me? And sorry, just very quickly about Rashford. Another thing about Rashford is that Rashford's 27. Like, do you get me? So it's just like, yeah, like he's not old. Do you get me? But he's not like a young up and coming like player. Like, do you
Yeah.
get me? So yeah, man. Like, I think we've seen a lot of Rashford, and I hope he can turn it around. But yeah, like, even if he does turn it around, I still potentially would want to see someone else come in, and then yeah, like now there's competition in it. And so yeah,
No, you know, the one big thing, kind of like my kind of last point in this, and then maybe, bro, I'm getting to your predictions after for this game,
yeah,
is I think this season, between now and the end, I think probably the most important factor for you guys is it's really going to show who can sink or swim in this system. And I think, again, this is why I keep saying to you, by the end of this season, this is now where we're going to now look at Ineos and say, Amorim, he's done the best he can with the tools that you've given him based on that his thing. Now, how do you respond? Who do you bring
yeah,
in and who do you get out? Understand? That's gonna be the biggest. I think that's the pivotal moment now. Whether United are back on the upward trajectory or this is a false dawn and it's gonna be another Ten Hag situation. Because the one thing that you guys have notoriously done for the last 10 years is just not get rid of your players. Like, you keep the rubbish and you keep the rubbish and you keep the rubbish. I think that this is really now what we see. There's gonna be a lot of players now that this system is gonna really expose. Understand? If Rashford goes striker, then he goes behind the striker, then he goes left mid, and he's still not shining in any of them. What does that now mean for his future? Understand? What does that now mean for? Understand? There's gonna be all these questions are gonna get answered. So I'm definitely looking forward from the outside just to see, firstly, the answers, and then secondly, how do you guys respond to those answers? But yeah, that's kind of like my final point.
Just very quickly as well, even when we're talking about that striker position, when you look at someone like Gyökeres, like I think where he really thrives is in transition. Like, yeah, like he's someone that really thrives in transition. And obviously, like Rashford, with previously, like we've seen him thrive in transition. Like, we've seen him do really well, like when he's in transition. I think where it can be more problematic for someone like a Rashford is when he has to play to his back to with his back to goal. Do you get me? And I think obviously in the Premier League, we are going to sometimes be facing teams where it's like, yeah, the space isn't necessarily there. So there's going to be things that he's going to have to like figure out, or United are going to have to figure out. And I think that's why I'm saying, like, system wise, because United, again, we talk about moments. There's United have typically too many times relied on moments. Like, we've relied on moments. And that's why I was saying it's just like Bruno, like, again, you're Manchester United captain. Like, I really need you, because this is a thing about GA. Like, do you get me? Bruno's gonna put up numbers, bro. Bruno's numbers for United are serious. Like, do you get me? If you look at it from his debut, his goals and assists, bro, they're serious. Like, Bruno's gonna put up numbers. Like, do you get me? We know what Bruno's capable of. We need to see Bruno like operate within this system. Like, do you get me? So us as a team, we can overall improve. So yeah, man, like I'm really hoping Bruno can do the business, because yeah, like, again, like captain of Manchester United, like you've got to set an example. Like, so hopefully, man, like you said, discipline. Like, that word needs to be disciplined. So yeah, but going back to Amorim, yeah, man. So far, I've liked what I've seen. You said all the right things. Watch the training videos. Like, United fans are excited. Do you get me? You know, again, like I said, when you're starving, you just want it again. And I think it's because it was during international break. You've got no. When it was Sporting versus City, we all watched Sporting because we were like, all right, cool. That could feed us a bit. Do you get me? Then it was international break, and then it was just like, oh man, what can we eat? And then we saw the trainer videos. Like, all right, cool. That feeds us a little bit more. Let's watch some of those vids. But yeah, man. So Amorim, he said a lot of the right things, but ultimately talking is done on the pitch. Do you get me? So yeah, man. As regards to the game, it's a weird one because obviously you don't fully know what to expect. Like, it will be interesting to see the starting lineup. It'll be interesting to see like, yeah, who plays. I do think he will go with the back three from the off. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. I'm gonna go for a United win. Ipswich, it's crazy because we're not really spoke about them. Shout out Ipswich, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I was talking to him a little bit.
McKenna,
Yeah, I was talking
yeah,
about
cool.
them.
Yeah, no, I got to shout out McKenna because
Yeah,
you know me, man. I've always backed McKenna. Ipswich, they've always been my, do you get me? My sleepers where I've backed Ipswich. So yeah, man, like they played well against Spurs, like Hutchinson doing his thing. The lap from City, has gone there and he's doing his thing, man. Like these City youngsters, man, just
bro.
going to other
I don't know
Premier League
what they're
teams.
cooking up in that
Yeah, man.
academy, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So yeah, like Ipswich, like I don't think this is going to be an easy game. Like away to Ipswich, I saw again when they faced Liverpool, like for the first 60 minutes, like yeah, like they made it a really tough game. I saw Villa go over there. I think they drew, was it 2-2? Like so, yeah. And then obviously we saw Ipswich beat Spurs last week at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I definitely don't think it will be easy. Um, I think I am going to go. Oh, it's hard, man. These ones are so difficult because again, it's a
I
whole
know.
new. It's like I'm gonna go 2-1 United.
2-1
Yeah.
United.
Mm-hmm.
Thought you might do that. Thought you might do that. I knew the United optimism. There's no way you're predicting anything up,
Oh no, no, it's
anything
always
but a
United
win.
doing.
But nah, I think like you kind of alluded to, I think yeah, I've seen some United fans try to run the should be come the easy win against Ipswich. I said, brother, I know this is not gonna be an easy win, man. I think this is gonna be a really tough match for you guys. I think especially I think the main factors I'm thinking is new system that players are gonna have to get used to with hardly any kind of training time. With a lot of your players just coming back from international break. There's always a factor of going away from home after the international break. That's always very difficult as well because I think it's a lot better when you're playing at home when all your players are just coming back from traveling overseas. And I think the third factor too, like you kind of alluded to, I think Ipswich, as much as they got their first win against Spurs before the international break, and maybe they hadn't picked up any wins before that. I think I've watched Ipswich a couple of times this year, like the Liverpool game where I saw them give Liverpool a really good game in that first game. And I didn't watch the Villa game, but basically the point I'm making is I think I've seen enough of Ipswich to know that they score goals, which I think is definitely a big factor. I think they play good football is another good factor. And I think my kind of concern for United mainly is as much as you're going to play the back three, I look at a lot of your players that are coming back, and I'm also struggling to see what back three you really feel this well. I don't think it'll be the strongest back three, even as much as you're going to play it, because I don't know what's happening with Martinez, how fit he is. I know he withdrew from international duty. Whether he's going to play, you're going to need him to play because Luke Shaw, as much as they might be good in the training pitch, there's no way that guy is ready to play, start the match against Ipswich, left centre back is a factor. I'm looking at Euro as good again in training. It looks nice. Is he going to be fit enough to start a full game against Ipswich on the weekend? So I think your back three is going to be a bit more kind of makeshift is kind of how I see it. And I think I see Ipswich having a big enough threat to really worry you guys defensively. But I also see that the new manager bounce will probably make you guys a lot more positive going forward. And I can see you guys getting goals in this game. I think that's why I'm leaning towards a 2-2 draw because I think it won't be as comfortable as maybe people are seeing. But at the same time, I'm like, I also wouldn't shock me. Don't get me wrong if United went on to win this game, but I also wouldn't be shocked if Ipswich can at least take a point from you guys in his first match, and then probably there'll be improvements as we go on. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw in this game, man. But it will definitely be very interesting. I'm definitely gonna be locked in, man, to see. I'm very interested, like you said, that starting 11. It's gonna be very, very interesting. You might see our guy Anthony, man, because he's probably a beneficiary of just lack of options on that right wing back, right mid position. Because he's probably one of the best players you can play there right now, especially if Majrari, which I suspect will have to probably play right centre back. So it'll probably be him or Dalot, if anything. I think it's probably gonna be Dalot, maybe playing like I won't. I have no idea how he's gonna set it up. Well, basically, my point is there's a really big chance Anthony's gonna be starting this game, or at least getting tangible minutes in this one because of your lack of options and the fact that Mazraoui is probably gonna have to play right centre back, in my opinion. While Euro probably builds up his fitness, but we'll see. I'll be very surprised if he throws him in straight away, but we'll see what happens there. So no, it should be interesting. So I'm gonna go 2-2 Ipswich United, and we'll see what happens. But bro, unless you have any kind of final words, move on to the next game. Moving
Just
on
very,
to
very, very quickly. I'm just happy that I'm seeing Malacia looking like
oh
he's
yeah,
fit.
nah man, big up
Yeah.
to him,
I
man.
think this guy's had a terrible time with injuries. So
Bro, when's the
yeah,
last time? You know when the last time he played was?
nah, bro, it's been
It must
so
be like at
long.
least 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been
Like,
so long, bro.
yeah,
Like, yeah, man. So, like, I remember there was a time where it was just like, bro, like, we were genuinely worried. We were just like, fam, like, is he okay? So, yeah. And then I think I was seeing stuff about like all the injury problems he's had. So, yeah, I'm just happy to see him back in the training. Like, it's nice. Like, it's looking like, yeah, hopefully he'll be able to play some football. And yeah, I think he's someone that potentially can like slot in those wing back positions as well. So, yeah.
but again,
Yeah.
after 2+ years of not playing football, I guess he played for
Yeah,
under
take
21.
time.
He's not going to start the game either. So I think that's why I'm interested to see who is fit enough and who actually starts in this game against Ipswich. So I guess we'll find out basically. I know there was a lot of talk about Ten Hag being a laptop manager in terms of his like fitness and how confident he was to just throw players in. Is he going to be a madman and just say Euro? Can't play. We'll see. We'll find out how crazy he is in it, or whether he's gonna be a bit more patient with when players coming back from injury. So now you definitely learn a lot about managers as time goes on. So we'll see what he's about. But yeah, so I think that should be an interesting game. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be locked in for that one. And then moving on to the other two up front team. I think we have a very difficult game this weekend, man. I can't even come here with too much chest, man. I see Forest, we're looking eye to eye right now, bro. Level on points. I see that they have the second meanest defense after Liverpool, conceding only 10 goals. I said, Chai, we must win every single game from now on to stand a chance to win this league. This is another game that we must win. Boy, it's going to be really difficult, man. I think kind of initially kind of giving my thoughts now. I'll give you the mic to kind of talk. But kind of my initial thoughts, yeah, man. Odegaard, you got a nice 90-minute run out against Chelsea. This is gonna have to be the game of your life, man. These guys are gonna park that bus. I'm gonna need you to come with the keys and find some way of unlocking that. Because if you can't do it, clearly everyone else has shown that they're not capable of doing it either. So I think it's gonna have to be a massive game from him. Like, thankfully, yeah, like we kind of touched on last stream, that he was able to rest over the international break. So hopefully he can come back with a bit more fitness, a bit more kind of, I guess, match fitness following the Chelsea game as well. Because we're going to need him, man, because this is going to be a really big game. It's going to be really difficult. Forest defensively are a real problem. On the break as well, they're a real problem. So this is definitely those concerning games, but we can't even think about that, because Arsenal, from our point of view, we have to just win this match. I mean, this is like my final. We drop points, we lose, that's when I'm gonna come here and put my hands up and say, yeah, all that talk about Liverpool, talk about they might drop is over now. It's completely done. That's the Premier League done. So I think that's kind of the position that we're in now. Hopefully, too, I know there's some like Declan Rice went down before the international break. Saka went down. So again, the talk is it doesn't seem like there's anything too crazy. So hopefully they should all be fine to play. Obviously,
very quickly, bro. What did you? I don't know if you saw. I think was it Zinchenko who I think he came out like and I think he was talking about Arteta and was talking about like how Arteta like obviously like how we know he does the thing with the injuries where it's like a player's not gonna play and etc. And then I think he came out like speaking about like essentially, long story short, like how Arteta sometimes he plays games when it comes to that, and then a lot of the Arsenal fans were just like, well, how'd you say that? Like, bro, like you're just talking too much. Like, bro, like.
I was even hoping that he was gonna say something more inside. Yeah, Zinchenko, you don't help yourself.
They're just like, bro, why are you talking? They say if Arteta's playing mind games, bro, then keep that in the dressing room. Like, how you saying
it's gonna help you get on the pitch. Like talking about Arteta's doing, Zinchenko, he's just it's a real shame, man. Again, he's one of them players too that I'm always very conscious when a player becomes a scapegoat or the public enemy. And now everyone is, they're now the reason why you're now not doing well. So I've always tried to be more patient with Zinchenko, but yeah, that's stupidness. And yeah, he shouldn't be coming out. That's not helpful to Arsenal at all. That doesn't help us in any way. So yeah, he's an idiot. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see, man. So yeah, so obviously Ben White's also out for the next like 8 weeks now, 7 weeks probably at this point. So Timber's gonna come in. I see my guy Tierney, bro, strap up his boots. I haven't seen that guy in a minute. So he's another one. So, but I'm not complaining because we need as many players as we can. So if you can give us a couple minutes here and there, I'll take it, man, while we still have him. So yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting game. But Arsenal, yeah, we need to bounce back, man. I think this is now these next run of fixtures, I think, like we kind of alluded to previously, is now where if we don't go on a run, then it's just over. So, and it needs to start from this weekend. So, yeah, man, it's going to be tough, but you want to kind of give your words and I'll give my prediction and we move on from this one. What are you thinking about this Forest game, bro?
Yeah, like credit to Forest. I think, yeah, like obviously they performed very well this season. They've done their thing. Chris Wood has been banging in the goals, defensively extremely solid. So yeah, don't think it's going to be an easy game. That being said, they are coming off the back of a loss. And yeah, like Newcastle were able to break them down. Not to say that that now makes things like easy for Arsenal at all, but obviously I think yeah, probably takes down their momentum just a little bit, which I think helps you. But yeah, I think this is gonna be about like yeah, Arsenal being able to unlock the Forest defense. Obviously, we've seen what they've done like at Anfield, like beating Liverpool. We've seen how resolute they've been,
Yeah, the
and
Chelsea
yeah,
game as well.
Chelsea game, yeah, we saw what happened at the bridge. So yeah, man, like I think not gonna be an easy game. I think Odegaard, yeah, like key. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna be key. I think he's gonna be key. Not just from like a like not just from like a standpoint where like when we talk about creativity, not just from like the standpoint of him like his passes and his crosses and like him trying to thread things through, but also just his movement creating space. That I think is one of those games where it's just like, yeah, all of those pockets, like, you know, you're gonna have to shift defenders along and create space. And then obviously Arsenal still always have the threat from set pieces as well. So yeah, like I think difficult game, Arsenal at home, but yeah, like you guys really have to rise. Like you
Yeah.
have to because yeah, like Liverpool have got Southampton, like yeah, which obviously South, you know, weirder things have happened, but we all expect Liverpool to beat Southampton. Yeah, and then yeah, obviously you've got City like facing Spurs, and then City have got Liverpool next.
Yeah.
So one of City or Liverpool are going to drop points. So I think, yeah, like you said, I think Arsenal just need to go on a run now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got us not too long. You've
Yeah.
got us soon. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, Arsenal need to go on a run, like I think, for your title aspirations. So yeah, like big game.
Nah, massive game, man. And yeah, that's why even my prediction, I think unfortunately, I would be more confident going into this one if we were able to nick it against Chelsea. Just because again, I think I think we still need that jammy win to then really unlock the confidence going forward. I think that said is why I'm gonna go for an Arsenal 2-1 win in this game. I think first to be resolute, but I'm not I need to see our defense also be resolute again if I can really be confident that we can really hold teams out, because Forest pose a big enough threat on the break as well in this game. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we kind of cope with them from that point of view while we're trying to unlock them and that kind of balance between the two. But yeah, the fact that it's at home, the fact that I think all the Arsenal fans are we're all in awareness basically how massive this game is. I think the team will just about at least do enough to pull through. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. What's your prediction for this game, bro?
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna match that. You know, I
2-1.
think Arsenal they need to win. I think Forest again, a hard opponent. They're capable of scoring. Arsenal have been conceding goals recently, so yeah, like I think regarding the clean sheets, I probably need to see Arsenal like be a bit more resolute, like before predicting the clean sheet. So yeah, I think 2-1.
No, I think that's a very fair result, fair prediction. And then, bro, we move on to the team that's leading the charge. Like you said, a game that seemingly on paper seems like such a comfortable win for Liverpool, and especially I think they also need this as well. Just the fact that if you look at the next few fixtures, this is probably the calm before the storm. So
I
this
think
is definitely not. Yeah,
it's
go on.
Southampton, then they've got City at home, and then I think Newcastle away, then Everton away. Yeah.
Yeah, so boy, yeah, everything game is tough one on
Mm-mm.
rivalry. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
boy, we'll see. I'm
And
sure
you know what?
they'll
You
do
know
everything
Dax,
they
bro.
can.
Yeah, you know Dax,
Oh,
man.
the
He's gonna
everything,
say,
bro,
hey,
everything they can. Say, bro, see what Forest did. They're gonna do that times two.
mm,
But everyone behind that bus. So yeah,
mm,
we'll see what happens in that game. So yeah, so this is again the calm before the storm. This is definitely a game that Liverpool just need to again just do what they need to do, continue winning their games, and seemingly you'd think that it should be comfortable. But I have kind of the two questions for you on this one on this
mm,
game. The first question was how good do you think Curtis Jones is my first
mm.
question. And then my second question is, yeah, do you see any chance that this could just any slip ups for Liverpool? You think this is going to be comfortable? My two questions for you. That you can give your prediction afterwards.
So I'll
Yeah.
start with the second question.
Mm,
No,
okay.
yeah,
Fair.
like, yeah, I just can't, like, do you get me? Like, yeah, just
But
being
to be
honest.
fair, though, the last time you were this resolute, Ipswich beat Spurs. So I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. If
it
that's
was
that means
it was
even.
a different level of, of resolution though. Like this, yeah, like yeah, I just can't see it. But yeah, man, like we'll see though. Like, do you get
Yeah,
me? Like,
bro, I'll be here
yeah,
for it if
yeah.
Southampton
It's just
lose.
like, bro, like I'm not mad at Liverpool losing at all, bro.
Yeah.
Like, or if Liverpool want to drop points, I'm not mad at it. So yeah, but yeah, I just can't see it. Curtis Jones, I like him. Like, I like him as a footballer. I think, yeah, he's an intelligent footballer. I think he's a good player. I do like Curtis Jones. And yeah, like I think we've been seeing some really good performances from him as of recent. And yeah, it will be interesting to see if he's able to really like fix a spot in that starting 11. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, no, I do like Curtis Jones. I think he's a good footballer.
yeah. No, I think he's one that I haven't watched him as much. I think I've heard the talent, but I guess he
Mhm.
struggled under Klopp when it came to staying fit. Was
Mm,
kind of what I kind of saw in terms of why I haven't seen him as much. He's definitely a player that I've been hearing his name a lot more, so I'm definitely a lot more locked in to see like how good
mm,
is he. When
mm,
you're like you're not sure like how good are like I know you're a good player, but how
mm,
good are you? So I think that's the question that's going to
yeah,
be pending for the next few weeks as he starts
mm,
to make more kind of appearances for the Liverpool first team. So definitely want to keep an eye on. So yeah, bro, you want to give me your prediction in this game?
3-0.
Got 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I hear it. You know what? It's a good prediction. I was actually gonna go. I was gonna go 3-1, but I think I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0.
Mhm,
So we'll see what happens in this one. We'll see what happens. And then the next game that we're gonna talk about is Maresca's homecoming, the team that made
mm,
him, the team that got him that big move to Chelsea, got him that was it like a 5-year contract. So
mm,
that's the team that he brought up from the championship. Is he gonna play a part sending them back down? We will see,
mm.
man. I'll let you actually talk before I say what I was gonna say. I'll let you give you a prediction if I say what I was gonna say. Because there was one factor here that I said, yeah, man, this solidifies my prediction. But let me not give that away. But yeah, man, Chelsea, it's been a very promising start to the season. They done probably better than maybe I'd say a lot of rival fans on the outside maybe saw them doing going
Mhm.
into the season. They've been a lot more consistent than maybe we kind of thought they would be. But yeah, man, do you think Leicester can spoil the party at all? Do you see any hope for them? I think you played them recently as well. So this is even why I want to even especially get your take on Leicester in terms of how good or how much of a threat you think they can be. Obviously, that was at Old Trafford. At
Mhm.
home, do you think they have anything for Chelsea to make them worried about this game in any way? What are you thinking?
You see, so oof, with Leicester, I think it's really, really unfortunate for them because one of the players who I've liked
Mm.
from Leicester is Fatawi, and I saw that he's out for the season. I think ACL injury.
Hey, I didn't even see
So
that one.
yeah, man,
Okay.
yeah, like so. I think that's
Ugh.
like he's someone that's impressed. So Yeah, like, I think that's really unfortunate for them. Like, and again, wishing him a speedy recovery. Chelsea, I think, yeah, Maresca coming back to Leicester, obviously that's a narrative there. I think after the draw against us, I think they would have been disappointed because, yeah, like we spoke about that game. I think the draw with you, I think they would have maybe thought, oh, you know what, it could have been there to be won, but also it could have been there for them to have lost. So I think, yeah, like overall, like again, a draw against Arsenal, they should be not too upset with that. But I think with this game here, yeah, they should be expecting to grab all 3 points. So yeah, like I can't really see Leicester stopping Chelsea here. I think Chelsea have got too much for them.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot. I think I have to. I'll give my prediction in this one first. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
you went first last time, but yeah, bro. You know the factor that I think just collapsed all my prediction for Leicester and any hope of them doing something, bro. And I even saw that Vardy's out for the season. I didn't even know that one either. I think I was probably late to that news. He's also got ACL. I didn't even know about the Fatawu, but the fact that both of them are out for the season, yeah, that prediction of Leicester going back down is unfortunate because they were doing so well, and it looked like they were gonna like shock both of us. But yeah, with both of those players being out. Even my threat of like them getting a goal as well. Even watching that Old Trafford get like the game against you guys there, I think it was a very, very comfortable United win. So I also see this being a comfortable Chelsea win. So I'm gonna go. Oh, and I want Chelsea to drop points as well, man. But they're also going into a good run of games that they should be winning too, which is very annoying. But I'm gonna go 3-0 Chelsea, man. I'm gonna go 3-0 Chelsea. What are you thinking for this game?
Yeah, same. That's why I actually had written
3-0
down.
Chelsea.
Like, yeah, like the Liverpool and Chelsea ones, I just had 3-0s for them, man. I was just like, I just.
You know what is it? I'm waiting. I always bring up my guy Sanchez. I think Sanchez always has a goal for
Oh,
someone.
he's got to go.
He always
Fairs,
has a
yeah.
goal for someone. But I
Fairs,
said,
I hear
Leicester,
it, man.
they're so weak going forward right now that I'm not even sure if
Man.
they can do it. Like, I'm not even sure if they can do it, man. So I think that's what leaned it for me that, yeah, it's going to have to be a whitewash. It's going to have to be a whitewash, man.
Yeah, those ones I just thought, I'm not even gonna overthink, man. Like, obviously, like if Leicester, like, it wouldn't be like crazy if they score a goal, and like even Southampton like to give it a goal as well. Like, do you get me? So it's like, yeah, so it wouldn't be absolutely crazy if Liverpool concede, but yeah, man, I'm just not overcomplicating these fixtures, man. 3-0 for both of them.
Fair enough. If you're a Leicester Southampton fan,
hey, man.
It's nothing personal.
Hey, nothing personal, bro, at all, bro. But like you said it, like for Tawi, when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, that's real bad. And then Southampton, they played too expansive. Like, do you get me? Like, so it's just for a team like Liverpool, man.
Yeah,
like,
they'll be licking
man.
their lips, man. We are going to get chances in this game. We just have to finish it. That's it. They literally, I think they're talking that Slot must just be saying before the game, you're gonna get chances. As long as you don't miss all those chances, you're gonna win this game. So just be serious when you get those chances, and it should be comfortable.
Fam, if Leicester and Southampton want to pull off shots,
please.
We don't have no problem with that.
No, man, please.
We don't have no problem with that.
Please.
So, yeah.
I hear it, man. But yeah, so to be fair, I think those are definitely much more comfortable games to predict in terms of, I guess, like who's gonna win. Maybe not score lines. We'll see. Could be anything between 1 and 3-0. Could be even more before we know. But these next two fixtures, I think, should be a lot tougher to call. So this is where we get into the gritty. These are the fixtures we're gonna really affect the prediction table this week. The first game that I want to get your take on is Bournemouth versus Brighton.
This is the hardest game. This was the hardest game for me to predict this week. I haven't made a prediction. Like,
boy, you're gonna need to.
It's one of I know. It's one of them ones. There's some that I just I've as we've been doing it. No, as we've been doing it, there's some where I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out as I talk. Like,
all right, cool. So talk to me. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so man. Bournemouth, I rate them. Brighton, I rate them. So because of that, makes it a good game. It
Yeah, it
also makes
does.
it difficult. Two
Yeah.
teams that like to play football, do you get me?
Mm,
Like to play good football. Two teams where, like, yeah, their managers are doing a lot of things right. Brighton, we spoke about them, man. Like, yeah, man. Like, they just carry on spawning players, like, just players just coming left, right, and center and doing their thing. Um, Jao Pedro is back. I think that's big for
yeah,
them.
you told us
Like,
all.
it adds
He
to
made
it.
it very clear.
So, and so yeah, man, like good goal and assist in that game against City, done his thing. So yeah, man, and then yeah, Bournemouth, man, like
Hey, man,
Semenyo,
bro.
hey, Ivan Nilsson, and then hey, man, my boy at left back. Nah, I'm watching very
Oh,
closely.
Kirkes.
Kirkez, I'm watching very closely. Do you get me?
Mm,
Very closely. But yeah, I rate him as well, man. So yeah, man. Um, difficult,
hmm.
difficult game to predict. What am
Yeah,
I going for?
yeah.
I am,
I don't have a prediction yet either. I'm genuinely
yeah.
thinking, talking as well. It's crazy. This is
I'm
a
a,
tough game to call, man.
I'm a
Because
hot.
Bournemouth, they're coming off the back of that 3-2 defeat to Brentford. Again, a game that they played really well, but now they're back home. Brighton are
Oh,
going there.
two,
Like,
two,
it's
two, two,
gonna
two.
go 2-2.
No, 2-2.
I think that's a very fair shout. I think that's a very fair shout. You know what I'm gonna do, if it's okay?
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna change my Chelsea Leicester prediction to 2-0 to Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-2 for this game. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have to take a risk somewhere. And this is another
Fair
one I'm
enough.
gonna take the risk because yeah, this game
This
can
is
go away.
yeah, but
That's
there's
gonna
too
be
hard to find. There's
yeah.
just two good football teams who
Mm,
have been playing well and have attacking threat, and it's yeah,
yeah,
2-2 man. That's
yeah,
okay. Uh,
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I got to go with.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Mm.
tough.
It could go
But
either way again.
it really
Like
could.
it's one of them
Like
ones
it
where
really
yeah,
could. But Bournemouth could
but
win, Brighton could
yeah,
win.
Brian could win. None of them would surprise me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And then this other game too, which I think also should be quite difficult to call, which is why we
mm,
slid this one in last minute. And I'll go first in this one for the prediction, but again,
mhm,
it's another tough one to call, man. But probably maybe
mhm,
a little bit easier. But
mm.
this one is Fulham versus Wolves. Because again, Wolves, after start their season where they had a really tough run, and then they had some fixtures that we thought were a lot more winnable. And I think they've come out the other side of it reasonable. I think the guy that's really, really shone, man, is Cunha. This guy, he
Balling
looks
man,
like an absolute problem. Like an
balling.
absolute problem. Like, yeah, I was watching like his goals, like you said, over the international break, and I said, boy, this guy's a serious, serious bowler.
That's
So
cooking.
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with him. Like, I guess in the summer, whether any big boys come and say, Wolves, please hand him over. So but he's
Mm.
looking really good right now. And obviously, I have my Highland boys, Fulham. They've been cooking as well. They've been doing really well this season. We've spoken a lot about Marco Silva. Again, another really, really good
Rate him
manager.
high.
Really, really good manager. So, boy, again, Fulham at home versus Wolves. So, I'm going to have to edge the home side, and I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham in this game. But yeah, bro, I don't know if you want to add anything more to that or what you want to
Yeah,
predict.
bro. Yeah. I think Wolves. I do think they've been unlucky in a lot of games. I think, yeah, like you said, Cunha, balling. Like you've got like Ant Nori as well, who's a threat. Like,
Mm.
yeah, they've got players there who can cause damage. But yeah, Fulham, I've been impressed with them this season, and with them being at home, yeah, I give them the edge. Like I do give them the edge. So yeah, this is one of the results where I did like write it down beforehand. The Bournemouth Brighton one I just couldn't predict.
Mm.
But yeah, this one I did say 2-1 Fulham. Like, yeah, like I can see that.
No, no, no. I hear it. I hear it. So yeah, no, it should be a very, very tough run of games over this weekend, and we'll be back to discuss it. Just to quickly run through our predictions, and then we'll touch on FPL before we round up the stream. But
Mhm,
yeah. So the first game, Man City Spurs. I went for a 3-2 City win. You went for a 3-1 City win. Then we went to
mhm,
Ipswich United. I went for a 2-2 draw. You went for a 2-1 United win. Then
mhm,
we go to Arsenal Forest. We both went for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Southampton Liverpool. I went for a 2-0 Liverpool win. You went for a 3-0 Liverpool win. Leicester Chelsea, I went for a 2-0 Chelsea win. You went for a 3-0 Chelsea win. And then Bournemouth Brighton, we both went 2-2. Too difficult to call. And then the final result, we both went for a 2-1 Fulham win against Wolves. So the differentials are the Chelsea Leicester game, Liverpool Southampton game, Ipswich
game.
United, City Spurs. I mean, there's enough different results in there, so that should be interesting to see how this plays out when it comes to the, I guess, prediction table, which we'll touch on our next stream when we do the reaction to the results. But bro, before I let you and the good people go who are watching this or who are gonna watch this later on, is a quick update on the FPL, just to kind of touch on how it's looking right now. So let me share my screen and we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. Let me just find the right screen. Let me know once you can see that. I think I've frozen. Yeah, 1 second. Yep, can you see that?
Yep, bro.
So the first thing I want to say is, I did a lot of talking, I said I'm going to be back. I know that people are seeing me languishing in mid-table, saw me in 8th, 9th, 10th, unspeakable positions in the league. And I said, don't worry about it. I haven't been serious. I'm going to be back. And this was a much better week for me, man. I've climbed into the top 4. And it's so disappointing because it could have been even better. I think we alluded to it in the last stream, that the mistake I made, the big mistake that I made is I went against this Salah guy, man. I said, you know what? They're playing Villa. It's going to be a tough game. Let me think that maybe he might not get all the points that he might usually get. And I was deeply, deeply mistaken.
It was close as well, bro. Like it was close because it was looking like a 6-pointer, and then literally like that goal at the end, and then boom, the 14-pointer.
Bro, flipped it on his head,
8
man.
points there.
Bro, flipped it on his head, man. So that was my big disappointment this weekend. Just that I think it was a good week, but it could have been better. I think it was my kind of annoyance.
If you captain Salah, then that week is looking serious.
It's looking much more serious, man. So nah. So again, the other mistake I made this one, man, is going for Gabriel. Look at my defenders: Kanate on 6, Anderson on 7. I said I made a big mistake. I shouldn't have gone for the Arsenal. Even if Fabianski on 9 when I had Ray and Go. So this was my mistake. Sometimes I need to put my Arsenal fan hat to one side and put on my FPL hat. That's the lesson I learned from this week, and I'm definitely going to be taking note of that going forward. But yeah, overall, I think it was quite a good week. Milenko 6, 8 Nori 6. Yeah, Rodgers probably could have been better. I didn't even notice that. Even though I think this was another one where when the fixtures was going on, I was like, why didn't I do that? Like, it was, the ones that you look at it, like, why did I even play Rodgers when
he had a chance though? He should have scored against Liverpool.
He should have, but it didn't. Based on how I reasoned, there was no reason for me to play him because I thought it would be difficult for Villa. If that makes sense. But it was them ones I didn't really look at him too much. I was more battling between which striker 2 should I go for? And I went for Cunha and Wissa, which ended up being the right choice. But I should have just gone for the 3 and not gone for Rodgers in hindsight. But obviously, even while it was going on, I was thinking that was definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, overall, Palmer didn't have a great week. Salah smashed it, like we've spoken about. And Bremo, he's been okay. He did well. Yeah, Saka, not great at all. Be interesting to see again how fit he is this weekend and what that means. But yeah, Cunha and Wissa, yeah, man, they cooked for me, man. I think this was like, I think a lot of people started bringing in Cunha, but I think the Wissa one was the one that maybe I don't think a lot of people really went for him. So I think that was a really nice differential for me. And yeah, overall, yeah, my team did quite well. This was a week where I said I should have bench boosted, man. I should have bench boosted because it would have made a lot of sense. But yeah, so all in all, I think it was a decent week. Definitely, I need a lot more of this to kind of fight back because I've definitely been struggling recently. So it's definitely much more of what I want to see. Then we go up to Major FC. You are in 3rd now. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you were level on points with an Orthodox Exchange. An Orthodox Exchange. And it looks like he had a good week as well. He's proved through. But we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we go to Major. Bring up your team when it loads up. Oh yeah, you did, bro. Okay, yeah, I don't know if what you want to really touch on mainly, bro.
Yeah, no, bad week for me, man. Like I think there were so many things that like I outdid the average, but yeah, it was still a bad week. Like I think firstly, the Salah thing, Like,
Mm-hmm.
went for the differential captain and it didn't pay off. I think if I went for Salah, then yeah, man, it would have been a much
To
more.
be fair though, this was worrying in this game because I think Haaland
You know
got
what?
a goal early, and I thought,
He got.
boy,
You
this
know
could
what?
be nasty.
He
Yeah.
got the goal early. So and then even when Brighton came back to like 2-1, I think Haaland was still on he was still on I think 6 points with 2 bonus points. So he would have been on 8 points, I believe.
Mm.
Then literally he got a yellow card like in like the last minute of the game. Then that took away his 2 bonus points and it minus the point for his yellow card. So um instead of 16 points, it became 10 points because it would have been like double 8 points. So it's like, yeah, so that was 6 points gone just like that. Then Trent, who Liverpool got a clean sheet against Villa, he got injured, came
Oh
off.
yeah.
So that's another 5 points gone just like that. Then obviously Rico Lewis as well with what happened to Brighton, like the clean sheet got wiped. So it was just like it was a week of just like horrible margins that just didn't fall my way. Like so it was just one of them ones where it was just like, yeah, man, like it was just not a very good week. Not a very good week. Literally that Fabianski, like if he didn't do that, then it could have been even worse. So yeah, this was a bad week for me. Like, I'm disappointed in myself for the standards.
The standards I used to hire,
Yeah,
bro. Don't worry, man. Just bounce back.
man.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely say again. This is what made me a more. Cause I was like, if I had Captain Salah as well, this points gap would have been closed even more.
Hey, bro. But then if I Captain Salah, then
it would have grown.
swings and roundabouts.
It's true. It's true. But man, and yeah, I guess just to really touch on as well, man. There, man, Bendit like Bukayo, he's still clinching by
one
his
pain. Yeah, I know for that
yeah, he's on his neck. So yeah, this battle now for who's gonna be top next week is gonna be very interesting. I think probably what's affecting Bendit like Bukayo is like while he might have been the forefront. No, that led the way for this no Haaland team. I think a lot of people have jumped onto it now and said, yeah, bro, we don't have Haaland either. So let's go no Haaland for no Haaland.
The blueprint. Yeah, it's become the
man.
blueprint.
So it's really become the blueprint. But right now, he's still there, man. So bend it. Yeah, man. On Overdox is on your neck. So let's see what you can do to keep that position next week. So we're going to keep an eye on that title race right now. And obviously, we'll see what me and Major could do too. And obviously, yeah, it's still very tight too as well. Everyone... it's actually very, very tight. So you can really swing. Because I think I went from like 9th to 4th this week.
Yeah.
Like in 1 week. So you can really
even looking at that, like what 5th, 1 point behind you, 6th, 3 points behind you, 7th, 6 points behind you. Like, it's close.
So we'll see what this week has in store for all of us because we're back now. Thankfully, that international break is finally over, so we can start enjoying football again, man. So, boy, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. So yeah, bro. That's kind of the last kind of thing I wanted to touch on for this stream. Don't know if you have any kind of closing remarks before I wrap up.
As always, I just want to thank everyone who's tuned in, whether you've watched the stream for 30 seconds, 1 minute, half an hour, the whole stream. Whether you're going to watch the stream later, thank you. If you shared, subscribed, liked, thank you. Like, yeah, just generally, if you supported, like, whatever it is that we've been doing, like, yeah, through the streams, on our social media, like, yeah, we really appreciate all the support. And yeah, it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, we are grateful. And yeah, man, super happy that football is back because this international break just seems so long, man.
Bro, I think there's not another one until March. I think I saw.
Bro, that's so what we
have
football. And during this period, like, bro, the football doesn't stop. Like, man, hey, man, bro, during that international break, I was just like, fam, give me a Carabao Cup game, give me something, bro, give me something. Something, bro. Hey, man. So yeah, man. So it's good that football's back, and yeah, obviously this roller coaster of being a football fan, we're back on board again. So yeah, as always, United fans, I hope things go well. If you don't support my club, hey, You already know what it is.
Bro.
But yeah,
Bro,
man.
Ipswich,
So
if Ipswich are
yeah.
able to pick up that point, oh, he'll like crack in the 80s, man.
You
Like
know what it is?
crack
It's
in the
like again,
80s. Oh.
I think with it's funny right now. Last
Mm,
quick thing I'll say, because obviously Amorim's come in, and
mm,
yeah, like there's definitely a good feeling like around the football club, which is important. But yeah, also like this Ipswich game was definitely not something I'm looking at thinking, yeah, this is an easy. Like yeah, like I think it's yeah, it's a difficult fixture. So
mm.
yeah, man. But
Yeah, man.
obviously, I think
Okay.
also in the
Mm,
process of like the game, obviously the points because of where United are in the table, the points of course are like they're really important as well now because yeah, like we started off so bad where it's like we actually do need points to climb, but
mm,
also we don't want to do this thing where it's like we just get the points and we abandon philosophy. Like, do you get
mm.
me? So we need a combination. Like Amorim, he's got a big task in
Mm.
his hands. But yeah, man, I'm happy United are thingy. You're happy United are back. Looking forward to it. I'm even going to the next week against Everton.
Oh man.
Amorim's first home Premier League game. Yeah, so I'm
Oh
going to that.
nice.
So yeah, man, can see things in person. See what
Mm.
that 3-4-3 saying. So
Cool. Now I'm
yeah,
looking
man.
forward to the debrief.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I'm hoping it's a better post match than last time.
Oh
I'm
boy.
hoping. I'm hoping it's a better post match than last time. So yeah, man. But yeah, man. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Like, yeah, man, and appreciate all the support. Like I said.
No, and yeah, literally everything that my guy said. Appreciate everyone who tunes in, and yeah, if you're enjoying the stream too, please don't forget to leave a like. If you've made it to here, if you skip through, either way, thank you very much for tuning in, man. Like it really does mean a lot you giving us like this time, whether you're even just listening to it back tomorrow while you're working or throughout the weekend. We really appreciate it. So thank you to everyone. And yeah, now we have some big things planned as well. So hopefully, as we kind of approach the end of the year, we can start to accelerate and start introducing more ideas. So please, like, well, airs for any ideas like we always kind of make very clear. If you also are available, you want to come on, you want to give your opinions, and please feel free, man. Everyone is welcome. So thank you very much to everyone. And yeah, please don't forget to leave a like as always. It helps the algorithm. And yeah, hopefully everyone who's like locked in now, you can kind of see our journey as we grow as one. Hopefully we also become better as presenters, and hopefully everything is still entertaining and you're enjoying it, and yeah, you see that improvement in us as well as the content. So thank you to everyone, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next stream. So sweet.